Take a step back.
Can I get your card?
No, you can't.
You coming over here? Hey!
Take a step back.
What are you
This is
doing?
the
You just
last time I'm
slammed that
warning
door
you.
on me. You just
Take a
slammed your
step
door on me.
Back.
You just hit me with
This
your
is the only
door.
time. Are you able to do your ears work, sir? So you're doing it purely as a professional and trying to intimidate an officer.
No,
correct?
that's absolutely not true.
Thank you.
If you're intimidated with a 5'7", 150-pound man with a camera, you need to quit your job, man.
Functioning human
You
being.
need to quit your job, man. If you're that scared of me, bro.
Yo, John Winchester's first. What up, dog? King Chow second. Hello. How you guys doing, man? It's been kind of a crazy week for me, guys. Got a bunch of stuff happening all at once here. Yo, Wade, what's up, G? You watched my video? I saw you in the live stream. I saw you left a comment in the live stream. Is that the one you're talking about? Been watching the Lame Saga? What's the Lame Saga? I don't know. What's going on in the... You know, I'm always the last in the loop. You know, I don't know what's going on. So, Dubs, yes, I did get your $1. So you're a man of your word. And I got to be a man of my word now. I got to get that. I still got to mail those stickers to you. So I got to do that. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. The live, yeah. I mean, it's good news and bad news, right? So it's really, it's good news and bad news. I mean, it's good news because, you know, even though they did all that retaliation stuff, it's just they're just shooting themselves in the foot because, I mean, I'm not going to get found not guilty. I mean, I'm going to knock on wood, you know, but like, I don't see how, dude, I beat obstruction charges before that were way worse than this. Like, I was not interfering at all. So it's going to make them look even worse, man. It's going to be good for me, really. But, you know, also good. I mean, there's other good news too, right? So knock on wood again before I say this, maybe after, knock on wood before and after. But the main channel's not shadow ban anymore. Now knock after too for double. So I mean that's cool. Oh, Lane Myers. Oh yeah, okay. The lame. Okay. I don't follow Lane Myers or I've never been subscribed to him. I don't know what he's doing. I know that some people really like him. I was sticking up for Direct D. They're having, I don't even know what their thing is about, dude. But I just know that guy was like going off on Direct D, and I was like, he was like scolding Direct D like he's his big homie and shit. I was like, dude. I checked his channel. He has like, I don't remember how many views he has. Not very many. And does he even have like 1 million views? Like, if he does, it's not that many millions. It's like low. And he doesn't have that many subscribers. I mean, he's got a lot, but it's not like that. It's not like Direct D's got, 300 and something thousand subscribers, dude. So I was like, dude, why this guy's acting like he's like Direct D's big homie, dude? And like, I thought it was kind of weird, but I don't know the guy. I mean, but then he started attacking Jim Freedom, and I'm like, oh, okay, not a fan. Not a fan, dude. He's making up all this stuff about Jim Freedom's like the nicest, like total chill guy, dude. Non-aggression, like, dude, you start attacking Jim Freedom, bro, like that's an automatic, you're not a fan, dude, of him. After that, you guys should go watch the Jim Freedom video. Actually, we'll play it here. Let me just set it up real quick so we can play that, because that's actually a good, you need to watch that so everyone can see it in case you haven't seen it. It's not a long video, it's a short one, but him accusing Jim Freedom of like going to his house and all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah, this one right here. And I think he might be kind of like Might be kind of we're not gonna share it right this second, but I gotta set up though. I got it queued up. But it looks kind of like tweakery, dude. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's a tweaker. I'm just saying he looks a little tweakery because he's a little suspect. Oh shit. Okay. Took my mom in for surgery on her broken arm. Oh yeah, the broken arm. They put a plate in and 3 screws. Okay, it all went well. All right, that's good, dude. So are you taking care of her now? She's got a broken arm. Which one is it, right or left? She probably, at least with one broken arm, you can at least do, just at least wipe your own butt and stuff like that. You don't have to do too much. I mean, dude, my mom, bro, I straight up took care of her. Dude, I straight gave my mom baths, bro. My mom got into a serious car accident when I was 12. She rolled her car, dude, right in front of me. And my sister was in the car, dude. And I know God was with us because my sister, she wasn't even in a car seat, and my mom wasn't being negligent, dude. Like my sister, she used to do this thing because she's super flexible, and she would escape out of the car seat, bro. No matter how tight you would put it, she would always. I remember my mom. My sister was in the back. She looked in the rearview mirror. My sister's in the back, waving at cars. Hi. Could you imagine driving and you see some 1.5-year-old just waving at cars, but she was Houdini, bro. No matter how tight you put it, she would always escape. So she wasn't in the car seat, and my mom rolled her car, dude. And I saw it roll 3 times, bro. It was a traumatizing event. That's why me and my mom are so close. Sorry, guys. It's because of all the trauma that we experienced together, right? So war buddies, they have that unbreakable bond type thing. Just think about any person, if you've ever experienced a high trauma with them, you're bonded for life, right? So this is one of those things. Luckily, my sister too, she only had a scrape on her nose, this scrape right here. And she was unhurt. It was God. My mom was not so good, dude. She had broke her femur, she broke her sacrum, she had all kinds of she bruised her, I don't know, some kind of organs, but she was had broken bones. First of all, your femur, that's your biggest bone in the body. It's the hardest bone to break. And when you break that one, it's big deal, bro. And then she broke her sacrum, was your back. So she had to have surgery. She had to have screws put in her sacrum to hold it in place. And they were going to leave them in because they're dangerous to take them out. They don't want to mess with her back too much, but it was causing too much pain. They had to get them removed. And then she had a plate and a whole bunch of screws on her leg. She's got a scar this big, dude. It's 10 inches long on her thigh, dude. Now her one leg is a little bit longer than the other. Not by a lot, 3/4 of an inch or maybe a 1/2 inch. I don't know, something like that. But it is longer. So her back's always messed up because of that. So, what was my story? I had another Christopher brain fart moment. I don't even know where I was going with that. Oh yeah, I had to give my mom a bath, dude. So she was in a wheelchair, dude. She couldn't even walk for, I think after 6 months or something, she could walk on a walker. And then after a year, she could walk with crutches, bro. It was a long recovery, man. And I had to give her a bath at the hospital. No one was there, and I just gave her a bath, dude. Because she had to do. It's you take her into this big shower. Sits in the wheelchair, and then I just bathe her in there. She'd bathe herself, but then I'd wash her legs and stuff. She can't bend down. She couldn't move really, dude. She'd wash herself up here in her face and stuff she could do, but I'd wash her legs and everything. So, and then I used to have to hold her. She'd have to do these things she had this cane to get up the stairs because we didn't have the automatic up thing, installed, whatever. She'd have to go up the stairs, and then she'd have this rope where she would tie her walker to, and then she'd pull it up with the rope. But if I was there, that's how she got up and down the stairs. But if I was there, then she had to have help brushing her teeth, because she could brush her teeth, but in order to lean over to spit out and stuff, she had to have me hold her. Because it was so bad, her back hurt so bad, dude. All kinds of stuff, man. So I know what it's like, dude, to take care of your mom like that. You know, that's what I was saying. So my mom, dude, like she just had to bond me out of jail. I think probably most of you guys know, but I was arrested yesterday. I just got out of jail actually today I got out of jail in the middle of the night, like 12:30 in the morning. I got out of jail. And so she had to come, she picked me up, and you know, it's just stressed for her, dude. And like, she's always there for me though. She's never let me down, dude. And I can call her and she'll answer and she wants me out. You know, like I can't say that about any other person. If I call you, you're not gonna answer. Like I never say like I'm gonna call you and you are going to answer 100% of the time. Like if I call you twice in a row, you're like, oh, emergency, answer. No other person except my mom. If I call you twice in a row, emergency, some people will just not answer again. I don't care if you're at work or what you're doing, dude. You know what I mean? If I call you twice in a row, it's fucking emergency, dude. My mom's the only one that will do that. But so she posted the bond, and then she was like, oh shoot, I wonder if I had to show this lady the receipt. So she just got all panicked, and she had like got in the car, was like driving down there to like, I gotta go show the receipt because she did it online and stuff. And it was crazy because by the time she was almost there is when I got out and I called her. I was like, hey, I'm out. And she's like, oh my God, I'm like on Potomac. I'm almost there. I thought I had to show the receipt. And I was like, oh, cool. So I literally just walked out the lobby, walked down the little sidewalk, and like right as I like maybe like 30 yards before I got to like where she was, like she just pulled right up, dude. It was like roadside service. I was like, oh, that's totally, you know, God like intervening right there. I mean, I don't believe in coincidences, so that was definitely, you know, God like looking out for my mom, like, and me too, because I was actually, she was looking out for my mom. He was looking out for my mom because, you know, so she wouldn't have to sit there and stress, or I guess, I don't know, wait for me or anything, you know, so she didn't have to sit there and wait and do nothing. But also for me, I was literally in like shorts and a t-shirt, bro, because I was on my way to the gym. And like about this time of year in Colorado, it's really nice, warm during the day, but at night it's cold, bro. I could see my breath. So I got out at 12:30 at night. It was cold outside, bro. And like, they don't let you just hang out in the lobby at that time, dude. Like you gotta leave. They just kick you out. So like, it was perfect, dude. Total perfect. Okay, here we go. We got some answers to the questions. Oh, he's sitting in jail. Yeah, I don't really care about that fool. I don't keep up on the drama shit either, dude. I don't care about that. Good. Took my mom in for surgery. Oh yeah, we already saw that one. William Henry Harrison. I don't even know who that is. Is that he's a president? Or are you just being facetious? Is that really a president? Which one is he? What number? He's sitting in jail. Cool. Lame, screwed up. No bond. Yo, what up, big dog? Whoop, Wicked in the house. Oh, right. That shit against Jim put the final nail in the coffin, for, in my opinion, on lame. We're going to play that video too, in case people haven't seen it. Here in a minute, I got it queued up. Hey, good for you, man. I love that answer, bro. I've never approved of any. Good. Neither. Because I don't believe in like having a ruler. That's kind of the thing. Like that's what a president is, basically a ruler over you. Right? I mean, that's what government is. They're rulers over you. You know, you can say, you can sugarcoat any way you want. Well, you know, it's the price we pay to live in a civilized society, and you know, we have to have a government. You know, without government, it'd be chaos, and you know, all those arguments. You know, you just have to have. It's a necessary evil. All that stuff. When you say, well, it's a necessary evil, then what you're saying is that evil is necessary. Right? And I think we should. How about let's make it not necessary? What do you think? That's my opinion. Let's make evil not necessary. But I still do have the president that I think is the best president of the United States. Just because I think that, you know, government itself is evil. I mean, we shouldn't. It's it's immoral. We shouldn't have it. I still have my president that I think's the greatest. So don't let me. I'll tell you guys after everyone else says theirs, but I want to get everyone else's too. Everyone's got to put theirs too. So far, we only have. Well, we got. Wicked said he doesn't know, and then Q the audit put something weird in there. She put, is that a president? Or are you just messing with me? I don't even know who I don't know all the presidents, obviously. But is that even a president? Oh, he is? Is he messed up for real? I mean, I don't know. He just kind of looks like he's a bit tweaked. I don't know if he is. Thankfully, it's her left. She's pretty active, but I am for sure helping out. She can shower on her own, but like laundry, cooking, and cleaning, she needs help. I do all the cooking and cleaning already. Yeah, I mean, because you said you're a cook, bro. You said, you bring the girls over, and you cook them a meal, and you don't even get through the meal, and their panties are off. That's how good a cook you are, man. So I know she's eating good at least. Yeah, dude, you're late to the party, dog. What do you mean? I went to jail. Just kidding. It's not that old. So I have a live stream on the DMA channel, bro. Why did I go to jail? You were in the live stream. What do you mean? Why are you asking? You were in the live stream. I don't think I said the time and date that I was in jail, so maybe you thought it was later, but it literally just happened yesterday. Yes, bogus obstruction charges, which I'm pretty sure I'll beat. I mean, there's never 100%. I mean, I could get a jury that just bootlicking like a mug, dude, and I could just get found guilty. Who knows? They could all hate auditors. These antagonizer guys. That's a real possibility, dude. My brother always answers if I call twice, especially if it's in the middle of the night. I used to always get myself in a jam. Cool, man. That's good that you have people like that, dude. When you call twice in a row, dude, it's like, it's important. Like, I don't care, like, especially if you love someone. Like, if there's somebody that I'm like you're my person, like you're my ride or die. Like, I don't know. I have lots of people that I really care about. If you call me twice in a row, I'm going to answer it, dude. I don't care if I'm at work or what I'm doing, dude. You know what I mean? So that's just me, though. I guess not everyone's the same. Oh, he was the 9th president? Okay. Well, I don't think he's definitely not the best president because I don't even know who he is. So what did he do that's so great? Oh, he's president for 1 month. Okay. Now I get it. I mean, I'm not happy that he died in a month, after a month, but I get what you're saying, though. He was the shortest president. Good answer. Good answer. Yeah, I figured it out before you even had to say that. Yo, username, what up, bro? You saw we were in the live stream, dude. You're right, bro. I'm on shadow ban, dude. It's like a celebration. That's why I went live tonight, because it's kind of like a celebration, dude. I can't believe it, dude. It happened. It fucking finally happened, bro. After 5 months. Yeah, they're president. They're CEOs of the corporation. Yep, that's what they are. Yes, that's true. JFK was a good president, dude. Back when, liberals were, they actually stood for something besides, there being 20 genders. I mean, JFK was a good president, bro. He wanted to expose. You know what else he wanted to do? It wasn't just the secret society. It was like a week after he wanted to expose the secret society thing that he got unalived. But it was also, he wanted to end the Federal Reserve. That's, I think, probably the main reason, actually. The other part was maybe, I know I said I don't believe in coincidences, but it's probably less of a reason, I think because he wanted to end the Federal Reserve is the main reason why. I mean, even Trump might not like the Federal Reserve. I mean, I don't think he probably doesn't like it. He can't, if he wants to stay alive, he can't say, I'm going to end the Federal Reserve. I mean, they're already trying to assassinate him, dude. You're a microwave king? Yeah, that's like Sweet Tea. She's microwave queen. She cause nuking. Just nuke it. Just nuke it. She's a nuker. Oh, you've been sick? Stomach bug tore my ass up for 3 days. Dang, bud. Sorry, man. Yeah, my mom was sick for like 2 weeks, like 3 weeks, bro. She's still sick. She can at least talk now. Through my lens. Hey, what up, man? I've never seen you in here before, dude. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in on this channel. And I have to ask everyone that comes in that's new is how you found out about me. None of the above. I love that answer, bro. Love that answer. I'm second ring. You come in here with all this weird stuff that you say, I don't even know what you mean. What does that even mean? Oh, second for the phone thing. Okay, never mind. The phone thing. Your second ring? Dang, bro. Like you answer like that, huh? Cool. Down ass friend. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, it's such a relief, dude. Like good things are happening, you know, like bad thing happened and then like good things happening too, you know, like it was a bad thing, good things started happening and then all of a sudden bad at the same time. But yeah, thank God for that. So now, you know, I'm doing good because now I got 2 channels that are fully monetized. Maybe it's a blessing in the long run, right? Because I would have never got that other channel monetized if this didn't happen. So maybe I can make more money now. I can go from like struggling like a mug, like to the max, dude, struggling. I mean, super bad, dude, to maybe like coming up, you know what I mean? So I got 1 of 2 people that are going to be working on the 2.0 channel now. I don't have to worry about it. They're just going to upload videos for me. Kind of like I've been doing on the main channel now, like just like re-uploads, like edited versions of old videos and shit, like highlights and stuff. Kind of like Long Island does with Long Island clips. It's the same type of thing. Just like the action parts, you know, like 10-minute videos. And then so we'll see what happens. Yes, yeah, we're on the same page here. Yep, we sure did. Abraham Lincoln, Trump, Kennedy's, Ezra Cohen, Watnick. Oh, what is this? Elvis Presley, all cousins and direct descendants of Abraham Lincoln. Oh, really? Huh. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Very happy for you. By the way, it's been about 9 months since I remember you were talking about it in July. No, it wasn't July because it started in October. That's when it started, bro. So that's when I got the strike. Was in October, like 5th. October 5th. That's when it started. I gotta change this song, dude. The song's stupid. Oh, JFK, Joseph in here. What up, JFK? And I've seen you in here a couple times. So I don't need to ask you. I just don't. You're not a usual, so but I do remember you. So what up, Joseph? Thanks for coming in again, bro. JFK, he said. Oh, you've got to have a ruler, you know, JFK, you know, pretty good one, I guess. And I don't know everything. I'm not really like super political or like I know a whole bunch about being a president or what it takes or, you know, politics and stuff. I don't. But, you know, I'm not a complete dumbass either. I mean, JFK, I thought he was pretty decent. So if I'm going to join one of your channels, I should pick the original DMA. I think probably at this point, yeah, I think you should. It's cheaper too. It's $1 a month cheaper for the bronze tier. It's only $2.99 a month. The 2.0 is $3.99 a month. So it just depends on what you want. Like if you want like new audits stuff, because I mean, it depends on what tier you want too. Like if you go the low tier, which what most people do, you get member shout outs, which I've been giving you shout outs anyways. Like today I did member shout outs like I always do, but I shouted you out. I mean, I like you. I mean, you said that I'm your favorite auditor, so I'm going to shout you out, but you get member shout outs. You get access to the DMA Facebook group, which you're not even part of. So if you want to be part of that, because you're not a member yet. But you get priority response to comments, which sometimes I'll look and I'm like way behind on those, but I do try to respond to those to the max. And then you get early release videos, and you get some actually you get a lot of members only videos. You get what else do you get? Oh, and you get sometimes members only live streams, which I've done one of those. I need to do another one sometime. I'll do one of those. Maybe we'll do like on the main DMA channel, we'll do another, like one of the vertical live streams like I used to do, but it'll just be members only. It's members and moderators get it too. You get those. We'll do one of those too. It's like the old days, like this channel basically, but on the DMA channel. So there'll be a bunch of people in there. There'll be like, hundreds. But that's what you get. And then like silver tier, you get all that stuff. Plus you get literal members only videos that are like just for you, like specifically just for members. And I have like, sometimes I have full audits on there, dude. I do right now, I have full audits. I didn't think they were they're good enough, dude. But I still think that, you would like them. You know what I mean? Like I got stuff with like J-Town up there. I got stuff with like people, special guests and stuff. I just think they were like nothing crazy happened, but I mean, they're still good. I think all my videos are good. So if you like me enough to like pay for a membership, I think you would like them too. So, and then gold tier I mail you stuff with memorabilia, like DMA merch, and I mail you like business cards from a specific audit, or like my notes that I wrote from like a speech I did, or editing notes, or like a records request, just stupid, like trash, basically. It's trash, dude. But like, I mean, if you paying that much, $25 a month, I mean, maybe you would think it's cool. I kind of thought it, because the reason I thought of that tier, I was like, okay, when I first started watching audits, I remember like, okay, you guys know my favorite's Bay Area. It's like, what if like he gave me a business card from like a cop that I remember from that audit? I was like, dude, that was such a badass audit, dude. Freaking Bat owned that dude, man. That was a good ass audit. And then he like mailed me that dude's business card. That's like memorabilia, dude. I'd be like, oh, that shit's tight. That's like history right there, right? I would have thought that was cool. So that's why I made that tier. And then $50 a month, that's the platinum tier. That's sponsor a video. And then gold tier, which is $100, which I've never had a $100 a month person, is, what is it? Oh, you get discounted merch every month. Or no, you get free merch every month. You get free merch every single month. I mail you like a shirt or like a coffee mug or something. I've never had a $100 a month. I only made that one because Adam Kokesh was one of my members. He was like $100 a month supporter. So I just made that tier for him, and he's like, oh, actually, I don't want to do that. Can you do it like a way to where I don't have to go through YouTube? Because YouTube they take like 30% of it, plus I have to pay taxes on the rest too that I do make. So he just started cash apping me. Dude, Adam Kokesh cash apped me like $100 a month for like a year, bro. Like he's a huge support. It's crazy, dude. The whole reason I started this channel, my DMA channel, was because of him. I mean, because of he's the one that got me into this whole thing. Because he's not an auditor, but like he's the first one I ever watched. And like my whole mission is to teach his message, bro. It's not to teach auditing. You know what I mean? I'm not a constitutionalist at all. I mean, I like the Constitution, but I don't believe that the Constitution doesn't give you rights, right? Like we all think, right? We have natural rights. But his message is the message I'm here to teach. So then when he started becoming a fan of mine, because I met him a few times, and he's like giving me $100 a month, like he supports me. I'm like, dude, that's such a crazy feeling, dude. Like when your idols become your fans, Okay, yeah. So you should pick whatever you want. It's your choice then, I guess, because the other channel is going to be more of, and this is of right now. I don't know anything guaranteed yet because it's just kind of the beginning. I'm talking too soon, but the other channel is going to be kind of like the DMA main channel was. It's like old audits that are like kind of edited down to just only be like the exciting parts. And so, and it's pretty much the same thing with tier selection with that one too, though. So the same like benefits as the original channel. So you choose. I would think probably the main DMA one, but I'm one of the world's foremost people who have some portraits taken of Lincoln. Like the actual portraits, like you have them, they're worth millions of dollars. Auditing Erie County is in Colorado. Maybe he can collab with you. Nah, fuck that guy, dude. Collab with that fool. He's a loser. Just kidding. Yeah, you guys can expect to see us together. I mean, I hope so, dude. Like, he's been calling me, and like, I've been kind of a bad friend because I've been like so stressed out. I don't really answer, and like I'm very isolated lately. But he texts me, he's like, dude, I'm gonna be in Colorado tomorrow, hit me up. And like I just got out of jail, dude. And like I texted him this morning, I was like, hey man, when you couldn't be in Denver, and then he's like, oh, I'm gonna be in Durango now because for whatever reason his friend needed help or something that lives in Durango. I was like, all right, well, hit me up when you get back to Denver then. He said he's gonna be out here for like a week, so we'll get together, dude. I'll make sure of it. We'll definitely get together with auditing. Or I can't have auditing Erie County out here, dude, and not see him, dude. Not do any kind of recording with him or anything. That would be stupid, bro. So Abraham Lincoln is the Druze bloodline, same bloodline as Jesus. Really? I didn't know that. Yo, Aussie Nathan in the house. What up, G? Subscribe to my homeboy Aussie Nathan, the best auditor in Australia. Why does the Avon sales lady walk funny? Because her lipstick. That's what you could say too. You could say, yeah, I think that was what it is. Yeah. I've heard that one before. My friend told me that one. Because of her lipstick. Oh, right on, dude. Oh, really? Oh, cool, man. I'm glad to be able to, because I've never seen you on my main channel, though. That's why. I mean, I know they used to comment, can you make that? Or what'd you say? Used to always come in there when I was doing these types of videos. Dude, I love you, username, dude, because you've been down, like, you'll actually watch these streams. People won't do that. Watch these, like, afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, I get my analytics, bro, like on this channel. And I can see who watched, who's in there live, and like how many views I get after it's live. I hardly get any views after it's live on this channel. And same with the DMA channel. They don't get that many views after they're live, but you would want to see them. So, but you never used to comment, in that channel. So I never even knew who you were until I started doing those. And I didn't know about you at first. I thought maybe you were a troll or something. I thought I was like kind of hesitant to like make them unlisted for you, but now you're a good dude, man. I like you. Yeah, I saw that too. I was in the stream. I was actually in the shower, bro. But I left it like kind of like on the side so I could kind of hear it. And I heard him say something and I was like, what? And I went and like typed, what'd you say? I'm in the shower. Oh, is someone you follow already? I don't think, probably not following him, because I probably would know if I was following a Durango auditor, but yeah, I saw that. He's like, oh, I'm a subscriber, dude. So you see that one lady who went into that building, she's all acting all crazy right away. You could tell. I was like, oh, you should have stayed in there longer, dude. So let's watch this video real quick, since I caught up on the comments. I think it's a short video. I just wanted to share this since we're talking about lame. Okay, so look at this guy, dude. I mean, does that not look tweakery to you, man? I mean, I don't know. I mean, he just looks kind of tweakery to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't look like, I don't know. But it's a 7-minute video We might skip through a little bit because I don't know how many of you guys have seen this, but it's a good video.
I don't care if you sue me. I'm accusing Jim Freedom of driving to my house in this gray Hyundai Veloster, parked in front of my house. Another person getting out of the car, coming up to my shit and
Look at that, dude. Why is his eyes so big? Dude, he's a tweak. He's got to be a tweaker, man, or he's on something, dude. Maybe like he's taking too much of his Adderall. I don't know.
blowing my shit out.
Yeah, he's talking about me.
Somebody just came to my house and tried to kill me. They literally walked up and put their face 4 inches from the camera and come up and literally put your face 5 feet from my camera. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? You came to my house, you're going to get in just as much trouble as if you would have took me out as if you didn't.
Sound like a dick or nothing, but it says on your chart that you're fucked up and your shit's all retarded.
So you probably should have took me out.
Now you listen here, Lane Myers.
And I've been led to believe that it's possible that Jim Freedom and Mitch may have committed other crimes on behalf of Direct D. But
First of all, I don't do violence or crimes for anyone, for any price. I cannot be purchased and I cannot be directed to do things. I'm a man and I make my own decisions. And I did not go to Tucson and I did not do anything to you. I did not cause any harm to your house. You are nowhere near special enough for me to want to cause violence upon you. Believe that. The only thing that brings me to violence if somebody else is in immediate danger.
and you know what's going to happen now. You're on camera. Your license plate's on camera. Your phones will get tracked. The FBI is coming. I got sheriff out here at my house, surrounding my house with AR-15s. I got the helicopter flying above my house. So, I mean,
why haven't you posted a picture of that? And don't tell me it's because it would mess up their investigation. That is horse shit. That is a stupid lie that nobody intelligent believes. If you caught somebody doing a crime and you got clear picture and video evidence of it and of their face, you post it and it can be used against them.
maybe, hey, I know somebody might have stole Jim Freedom's car and came to my house, but if it's defamation, come sue me. That's Jim and Mitch, Direct D's hitmen.
So you're watching this video. I don't know if you seriously think that this is me with this person on our way to do the crime you're trying to accuse me of. But if you check the timestamp of that video, genius, you would see that it was months ago. And if you listen to the audio in that video, genius, you would know that we were arguing and that trip was horrible for me. And I can't stand that little twerp Mitch. So that makes no sense why I would then team up with him to go do somebody else's dirty work.
I sat there.
I can verify that. That was after they left my house when they were out here the last time. When Jim Freedom and Direct D were at my house the last time, they left, and like it was like that night that they left. Or no, was it? No, actually, no, I can't verify that. I mean, I can verify it because I know what happened. I know that Jim Freedom came all out. I remember Jim Freedom came out to Colorado to pick Mitch up, and I was supposed to meet up with him, but it didn't work out. And then he went and drove him back to Direct D's house. So I remember that time. And I didn't see the whole live stream, but apparently, yeah, they did get into a fight. And, you know, that Mitch guy is something else too, man. He's like completely off his rocker also. So I don't blame San Joaquin for saying, oh, that guy's crazy, because he is crazy, bro. Everything comes out in the wash. You know what I mean? That Mitch guy is something else, dude. He's something else, bro. He's a piece of crap. So trust me that he hates Jim Freedom, Direct D, myself. We don't like that Mitch guy, dude. He's a freaking loser.
And watch the cops take at least 6 different camera angles of this car, of this person, of this license plate. Like,
if you had my license plate number, the police would have already been to my house, and they haven't. You're a liar and an idiot. The cops obviously didn't believe your story either.
that's what I'm saying. You came into so I mean, obviously, okay, cool. You know, you came and you fucking broke my windows out and shit, or you know, you did all that shit. Okay, cool. fucking walked right up to my fucking thing where I was standing here, and they fucking tried to take me out. Boom, boom, boom. Right? There's all the glass. I hid under the desk.
Don't worry, Scro. Now there are plenty of tards out there living really kick-ass lives.
Look, he drives a Veloster. I swear it was a Veloster that did this horrible thing to me. Therefore, he's the big criminal. Your detective work is blowing my mind. I accuse you, Lane Myers, of being a dumbass, jumping to conclusions and making a big drama queen show on YouTube full of lies.
Let me look right into the camera and tell them what got caught. After you blew my shit out.
And so real quick, Jim Freedom, he's only defending himself because this dumbass called him out and made a whole bunch of stupid accusations. I agree with you, Ro. We've had a conversation about that. I don't get involved in that kind of stuff either. I don't. It's just not my thing. So, but you know, if somebody like straight up made a whole video about me, bro, attacking me, saying that I was showing up at their house and all kinds of shit, like I would definitely do the same thing. I would have to make some type of defense video also.
And you were driving away really fast. You know how you got caught?
Why do you keep looking down? What is that? What's that a body language indicator of? Let's see if we can get some body language experts to analyze all your hesitations and your movements and your lack of eye contact, and you're looking all around. That'd be some drama for your channel, Lane. Drama about you. You don't want that, do you?
You stopped at the stop sign. Why wouldn't you just blow the stop sign? You literally just committed a felony that's going to put you in prison, and you stopped at the stop sign. Well, guess what happens when you stop at the stop sign? Your brake lights go on. Guess what happens when your brake lights go on? It illuminates the back of your car. Guess what happens when you illuminate the back of the car? When you stop at a stop sign with no other car. Hey, while you're sitting in prison, just keep telling yourself, man, we should have blown that stop sign.
Dude, you can just look at his mannerisms and tell he's a tweaker, bro. Like, I never knew that he was a tweaker for a fact, but like I never really put the two and two together. But rewatching this, like you can tell. I mean, I've been around tweakers, bro. Like he's a tweaker, man. You could just tell.
You can't even look a motherfucker in the eyes.
If you only would have blown the stop sign. Email Jim, text me where you were at 7:46 p.m. last night, so I can let because I don't want to falsely accuse you. Well, I'm not falsely accusing you. I'm accusing you. Because I don't want to falsely accuse you. I'm not falsely accusing you. I'm accusing you.
Lane, in my opinion, you suffer from either a severe drug addiction or a severe mental illness, either of which the solution is to get off of YouTube and seek help. Hopefully, the internet thinks your stupidity is so hilarious that it gets me 1 million views and I can make some dollars on this. We'll see.
Sorry, guys. I have to stop this real quick. So are you saying that if somebody made a video completely defaming you, saying that you showed up to their house and committing felonies and trying to defame you and like, you know, making you lose money? Because I mean, that's defamation. It's like slander. You can sue someone for slander in the United States if it causes you monetary damages. So like that could cause Jim monetary damages, bro. So if somebody made up this big old story about you because they're a tweaker and then cost you a bunch of money and stuff, like you would just say two wrongs don't make a right and you just accept it and just not say anything? Really? Is that what you're saying, dude?
We'll see what happens. I don't know what the hell you got going on with DirectD. I have not been watching any of it or commenting on any of it. By the way, no feds have shown up at my door. All these promises you made about people's houses getting raided, you're a liar. Still waiting. Your beard sucks. Fucking genius. You think you've uncovered some crazy thing against DirectD that you're going to be able to use against him in your war with him. I'm going to continue to not give a single fuck about you or your drama with DirectD. If any of the bullshit that your genius detective work turned out to be true, I'd already have talked to the authorities. But I haven't. Ergo, you're full of shit, Lane Myers. So
Okay, sorry, I had to cut it off. Yeah, so you deal it in your own way. Okay. As long as you deal with it. I mean, because you have to deal with it, bro. So whatever way you have, it's fine. I mean, you said two wrongs don't make a right. I don't know if that's really a wrong. Maybe it's a different way than you would do it. So as long as you're saying that you would deal with it in your own way, with whatever way that is, I'm not sure. But I can respect that you wouldn't want to do it on YouTube. I feel you, man. That's cool. I mean, it's kind of hard to convince, millions of people that you didn't do something if it's not on YouTube, though. So that's kind of that's why I'm saying, I don't fault Jim Freedom for doing this, So, but I feel you, dog. Okay, let's finish this video.
Fuck you for falsely accusing me, and fuck you for making people stupider by rambling on nonsense for 9 hours at a time on YouTube. Do something productive with your life and fight the fucking government like everybody else should be.
Yeah, dude, I love Jim Freedom, dude. And he's also like, had the flag in the background upside down, distress. Jim Freedom, dude, he's like me, bro. He's total, he's an anarcho-capitalist, man. But yeah, man, I mean, whatever he was saying at the end, hold on. What do you say here?
I'm on YouTube. Do something productive with your life and fight the fucking government like everybody else should be.
Hold on, he says something important.
And fuck you for making people stupider by.
Here's the thing. It's that, like, Lane Myers has a lot of people that think he's a great guy and stuff. And he's like, he's out for the people, blah, blah, blah. But you see how, like, just like Hitler, I'm not comparing Lane Myers to Hitler, okay? But it's the same type of thing, right? Like, Hitler can influence millions and millions of people, right, to do this terrible things. And like I said, I did actually this video that I'm going to play right now before I tell you. But, like, you can influence anyone to just think anything, bro. Like, I know I have the power to do that. If I wanted to be deceitful, I have the power to make a video and say false things about someone or a cop or whatever. And people will just believe it, dude. That's the social dynamics of human behavior, dude. They'll just believe it because I said, oh, this cop did this. Oh, fuck that guy. Like, we see it, dude. AFA was telling me about that, bro. He's like, dude, you got to be careful what you say, man. Because, like, people would just believe anything we say. And, like, they'll just fight for us no matter what. No, it doesn't matter what we say. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know. You're right, dude. And, like, it's true, dude. There's a lot of people that follow my channel, bro, that they'll just, anything that I say, bro, like, they just take it to the bank. And that's why I always tell people, don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Because I don't want people to just follow things that I say blindly, bro. It's like against everything that I teach, but they do. People, they're just human beings, just like everyone else. This is how human beings respond to things. They just go with whatever they hear, man. Like, oh, my favorite auditor said so it's got to be true. And they just go with it, bro. And, you guys have probably seen yourself do stuff like that. I've done stuff like that. I'm a human being too. I'm not saying that I'm, like, above that. If I hear somebody that I really respect and I really look up to and they say something, sometimes I'll just take that shit to the bank. Like, oh, it's got to be true. But just because they're your favorite auditor or they're your, favorite whatever, they're your mom or there's whoever you respect, they're still a human being, right? They're still fallible. It doesn't mean that just because they're your favorite that they never make a mistake, dude. Right? That's what I think people need to understand. So, like, a lot of people think this Lane guy is, because he's pretty charismatic and, but, like, if you can't tell the guy's a tweaker, dude, like, I mean, I don't know, man. I could tell he's a tweaker, right? But watching that video, can you see his eyes? I mean, his mannerisms, like he's a tweaker, bro. You gotta be careful, man. You gotta remember, like I say, you gotta think for yourself. You can't just be, oh, hey, what's up, Candace? Yes, he is an ANCAP. Jim Freedom. Yeah, man, Jim Freedom, dude. Like, Jim Freedom is Adam Kokesh's old director, bro. He's his old producer, not director, producer. And I actually did a I did an interview with Adam Kokesh when I first started my channel, dude. I had like 10,000 subscribers, 10 or 15, something like that. And Jim Freedom was there. He was his producer, bro, back in the old days, man. And like, so yeah, man, Jim Freedom's he's an ANCAP, dude. Oh, okay. I'm talking about Jim doing the video. I'm talking about all the other crap that's going on. Okay, I'm talking specifically about Jim. Like if somebody attacked you, bro, is what I'm saying. Like if somebody said Aussie Nathan did all this stuff, like what would you do? Would you just like not say anything and defend yourself? Because like if you don't say anything, then people maybe start believing it. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm thinking. But yeah, don't start drama or like get involved in it. If I don't have to get involved in stuff, I won't. Although I did defend Direct D, I guess Lane Myers. I got myself involved slightly in it. I do need to take my own advice because I do kind of get involved in stuff, you know, and I shouldn't. But I see what you're saying. I don't try to like purposely. Oh yeah, I'm like, because I'm not all about the drama, dude. Oh hey Deb, what's up, Deb? How you doing? Good to see you. So let's see what else we got. Yeah, so everyone's got to give their favorite president, though. We haven't even had everyone do it yet. Too many people haven't given their president for me to say who my favorite president is. I think only like 2 or 3 people said out of 11. Not enough. We had at least half. So everyone who's everyone who's already blown their cover has to. So I said we'll give Aussie a pass because he's not actually American, so we can't make him do it. But our Deb too. We got 2 Australians in here, actually, so we can't make her. But Wade, I can make you. John Winchester. Wait, you said JFK, right? We got John already done. Wait, what'd you say? Did you say one? Life on the Microscope still hasn't said. Candace is new. She didn't say. Audit the Audit said already hers, so will not tease her. Who else is in here? Oh, Wicked said he didn't know or something like that. And that's it. There's only like a few, like 4 of you guys in here that's made yourselves known. Once you make yourself known, then it's on. Oh yeah, you said JFK? Okay. Who did I say said JFK? Someone else. Now we'll go off the honor system here. I think a couple of people said JFK. Wait, who's TWAS or TWAS? Who's that? Okay, my favorite is JFK if he really became Swiss cheese. So you think that maybe that shit didn't even happen? Who's your favorite president of the United States? Maybe some people don't know what POTUS, what is it? POTUS means? POTUS. I didn't know what it meant. You want to know who taught me what that meant? Sweet Tea. I was like, because I told her, dude, and I'll be honest with you guys, I'm a pretty transparent dude. I told her, I was like, people keep leaving this comment in my comment section, POTUS. I never understand what that is. What is that? She's like, oh, that's President of the United States. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. She taught me that, dude. And then literally like a week or 2 late, like a week later, dude, like I was on a live stream with Fake Mike Real News. People were saying POTUS, DMA make a great POTUS or something. And like, I knew what they meant. And like Fake Mike was saying something, like I knew what it was. Like, oh, it's perfect timing. I know what it means now. But no, I would not make a good POTUS at all. Oh, you guys making fun of me now? Hold on. Yeah, they shouldn't lie about others. So I don't know what his deal is, dude. Maybe he's just high, and so he thinks that that was actually him. I don't know what's going on, dude. Oh, really? I don't know. I don't know what Direct D said. I'm kind of behind in this. Let's see. Regan. I mean, she might be the president that you think. A lot of people say that. Regan should be the president or should be city council or something. But like the presidents that we've had, actual presidents though. Yeah, what did I say? Yeah, what is this? Oh, it's a conjunction for it was. Oh, okay, that's why you're making fun of me. Okay, it's fine. I can take it. If I can give it, I can take it. I promise you that. You know, I give a lot of shit too. If you can give some heat, you got to be able to take some heat. So it was. Dude, I'm 42 years old, dude. I've never heard that before. So you always learning new stuff. Never heard of that before. Okay, so we even got Deb in here throwing JFK in the house. Right on. Until they offed him. The liars offed him. And I know Deb Anderson's story, dude. Like, she has some really bad experiences with police officers. That's why she don't like them. You know, it's like most people that are watching this channel, they don't like cops because they had bad experiences with them, dude. You know, it's funny. Like, they can't stand us and they can't stand... I even told the cops in the jail when I finally realized why I was in jail because I couldn't figure it out. I was like, why am I here? 9/11, Inglewood. Like, what was I doing on September 11th? And like, boom, it hit me. I was like, oh, Officer fucking Hume. And I got all pissed, dude. And I gave like this big old fucking soapbox speech, dude, sitting in the fucking jail, like the little intake area, dude. And everyone shut the fuck up. They all listen. I was like, hey, Officer Ralph, and I told him, I was like, hey, man, you know, all these police officers, you guys can't stand what we do. Right? If you can't stand what we do, stop giving me content. Just do your job correctly. Don't assault people and then put a warrant out for their arrest for obstruction, man. It's that fucking simple, dude. You guys all can't fucking stand me. And I don't even know what I said, but like I went off on this big old thing, dude. Like everyone there's a whole bunch of inmates in there. Everyone shut the fuck up, dude. They just sat there. And like no one said shit. Because I was like pissed, dude. And I was like, they knew. I was like, dude, this is fucking bullshit, bro. Once I realized why I was there. Because you know how I can get like really emotional about shit sometimes. And I was just fucking in awe. I was just so pissed off that I was sitting in fucking jail right now for that, for not doing anything. So that's the truth. Okay, usernames. Everyone says JFK. It's like the number one. Okay. Cool. Ronald Reagan. Okay. I can see that, Ronald Reagan. You have a son named Reagan? Reagan, or is it Reagan or Regan? Yeah, we love Jim Freedom, dude. Subscribe to my friend Jim Freedom if you're not subscribed, dude. Really good friend of mine, dude. Love that guy. That's true. I mean, Clinton put cigar in places unknown, space and time. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Who's your favorite Freemason? Not all of them are Freemasons, but I mean, yeah, a lot of them are. But that's a good point. There's a lot of them that are. They're all, you know, like when they fight each other, like they're both part of Skull and Bones and Freemasons. It's all about the same club. It's like this illusion, dude. It's this big giant scam, bro. Like, if you think, like I say, when a Democrat or a Republican gets elected, like what really changes? You know what I mean? Not that much. The most change that we've had is Trump. Why? In my opinion, because he's anti-establishment. He's not part of the New World Order, bro. Anytime there's a Republican, like if there's Bill Clinton or there's Bush or there's Obama, like what really changes between those three presidents? I never noticed one fucking thing that ever changed, bro. at all. They hated each other. They were against each other, but like it was status quo. It was all the same. Trump's the first one that came in and started changing shit. And that's why they were trying to defame him and say, and again, I'm not a Trump supporter, dude. I'm really not. But like, I'm not going to deny the facts. He's not part of the fucking New World Order. I don't think he is. Unless he's put there to just make people think that. Maybe it's like a double, you know, I'm a triple agent. I don't know. Okay. Oh, dude, he was a Freemason. He made everyone believe we made it to the moon. Buzz Aldrin's the one that's been coming out. Dude, like, he'll admit that we didn't go to the moon. He's like, well, we never went to the, like, the 11-year-old girl asked him about the moon. He's like, well, for one, we never went to the moon, but then he just like kept going on some other stuff. And like, no one like thought to like question that. It was like on some like late night show or something. He said several times we didn't go to the moon. Teddy, not FDR, John. Teddy Roosevelt. Is that who it is? No, not every single one is a Mason. That's not true. There's some that weren't. I mean, a large majority are, yeah, but not everyone. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Okay. You gotta change the song. The song's kind of annoying too. Okay, there we go. I don't know, man. I don't know. You guys know I'm slow. Who the fuck? I don't know who it is. It's not Ted John. Who is it? I don't know who you're talking about. So so I'll tell you who my favorite president is. My favorite president is George Washington. You know why? Because he was the first president, which means, and I've said, in 1776, we were the freest that we'll ever be. And every year, every day after that, every year, every 4 years, whatever it was, they would reelect. And probably every year, actually, 1 year, because they make more and more laws. We were less and less free. Every law that's written. Remember, Gary Johnson, former governor of New Mexico, that ran for president in 2016, said, "For every law that's written, takes a little bite out of freedom." And that's true. You will never be more free than you are today. Every day that passes, you're a little bit less free. So we were the most free during the founding of this country. Yeah, we didn't have like, you know, cool technology and cars and stuff like that, but cell phones. We were the most free then. And they wanted to make George Washington king. He said, no, I don't want to be king. He wanted to have a constitutional republic, dude. He started the constitutional republic in the United States. He could have been fucking king, dude. So that's why. And, you know, he was a slave owner and all that. I mean, he's not like the best guy of all time. He's not. I'm going to say that. You know, a lot of people give the founders a lot of credit. And people bring, oh, well, they're all slave owners. That's true, dude. They were fucking slave owners, dude. Can't deny that. But if you take away, it was just the time. So if you take that away, you know, all men are created equal, right? They had good ideas. They were just, it was a more primitive time. They didn't, you know, they were under the impression that slavery is fine. You know what I mean? So that's all. I'm not saying that's all, like trying to minimize it, but you know, you guys understand what I'm saying? So that's why I think that George Washington's the best. Simply for that, dude. Number one, because he said, no, I don't want to be king. And number two, because we were the most free You'll never be more free than you are today, dude. Unless we have a revolution and start all over, then you'll be the most free you can be. And then every year after that, you'll be less and less free, and it'll just continue forever. Okay, so Franklin D. Roosevelt. Is that what you're saying? John Hanson, 1781 to 1782, first president under the Articles of Confederation. And I did this thing I knew about John Hanson. He did some really good stuff too. I remember him. I don't remember what it was though, but I remember watching this video on it. The war and depression ended because we had a new contract with the central banking system. What contract was that? Because in which war? About World War One? Is that what you mean? World War One? It must free the moment you take your bra off. Yeah, I can see that. A lot of women, they don't want to keep their bra on forever. You gotta take that thing off. Like, gotta let them breathe. But that's another thing. Like, with the Federal Reserve stuff, you know. I don't know if I want to really get into all that Federal Reserve stuff right now, but World War II. I mean, the Federal Reserve was created in 1913, though, so that's why I said World War One. I don't know actually the dates of World War One, but I think it was in the teens, right? Thought it was, or was it late? Well, maybe it was in the 20s or something. I don't know. So World War II was ended. I mean, that whole thing is a big giant scam, dude. Like, all these banksters just paid off these politicians. It starts the Federal Reserve. It's like the biggest mistake ever, man. You know how much more prosperous Americans would be if it just wasn't for the Federal Reserve alone? You know, Ron Paul, the greatest president that we never had, said that very few things would benefit the American person more than ending the Federal Reserve. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know if that's exactly what he said, but it's true, man. The Federal Reserve is the downfall of the United States. I guess one of the downfalls, like the Titanic, right? Not just one thing caused the Titanic. It was a whole bunch of stuff put together. The crash could have been prevented in several different ways, but a whole bunch of people messed up, and it kind of, unless you believe in the conspiracy, you know. There was also, they say that there was actually, speaking of the Federal Reserve, there was people on that boat who were like against the Federal Reserve, and it crashed. That boat crash was in 1912, right? Federal Reserve came to be in 1913. And so there's actually a conspiracy that they did that shit on purpose. So that's part of it too. I know, dude. What could have been? You know, it's crazy to see how. You guys should go watch those. I don't want to look them up right now, but like maybe I'll queue some up for next time. The Ron Paul speeches. What was that? Was that 20? What was that one? Was that 2012? The Ron Paul ones? Where like they gave everyone else whatever their 2 minutes or whatever, and they'd give him 30 seconds and they shut him up. Like they purposely just cut him off early. Dude, after everything that Ron Paul said, he had everyone like standing ovation, bro. He was gaining traction, dude. He said some great ass shit, dude. They wanted to shut him up. New Deal, FDR's New Deal put us in a buttload of debt. Had World War II not happened to bring in real jobs, because would have been effed up or effed. And you know, like wars, what was it? Eisenhower said war is the health of the state. Because, you know, a lot of times, I mean, all the times actually, why do you think that the United States perpetuates endless war? They perpetuate it, dude. It's not like the United States have been in conflict for like 200, like the vast majority, like 80-90% of the United States existence, we've been in conflict with someone. Because they perpetuate the war. They think of reasons to go to war and stuff because it helps the economy. It does. You come out of a big war, dude, it helps the economy. But like, that's a destructive way to help the economy, you know? I'd rather come up with a way that helps it without, you know, unaliving millions of people. Yeah, these people occupy like what, like sports and stuff. Like they say, it was like the Romans or whatever, you know, like the circuit, the what's it called, the gladiators. That's basically what, you know, professional sports is today. I believe that too, but I like professional sports too. I mean, I like sports. I've always been an athlete, so I like to play them. I like to watch them. But I mean, people put too much credence in them, though. Like the fact that not we, I guess, you know, that people get paid, you know, $100 million or whatever they can make, you know, $30 million a year. You know, they make whatever they make in $500,000 per game they play. I mean, that's crazy, dude. I mean, I guess where's the money going to go? I mean, even the owners are making, you know, they're billionaires, so. But I mean, that's crazy, dude. You got to be the best of the best, you know, the elite. There's not that many people that can do it. That's why it's valuable. Not that many people that can play like that. You know, you're the best. So, yeah, the Coliseum. Yeah. War is our bread and circuses. Yeah, we're all programmed. I mean, how many people do you think, like, and you say we're all programmed, life under the microscope? I think about the people, I was watching this video today where there was like this drug addict dude who got busted with some whatever drugs he got, and he was taken into custody, and like he was bootlicking, man, the whole time. Oh, you know, I'm sorry. And then they got to the jail, and there was like some conflict because it was like, you guys probably seen the video, maybe. It was like where the jailers refused to accept the inmate and like had a dispute with the deputies, and they got physical and shit. And it's been on a bunch of different showcasing videos, but the drug addict dude was like, oh my God, all this because of me. I'm so sorry. Like, dude, stop, bro. Like, he's brainwashed into thinking that he did something wrong. You know what I mean? Like by doing drugs. I mean, I don't think that people should do drugs, but like, come on, dude. So what if you want to get high? People have been wanting to get high for thousands of years, bro. That's just the way humans are. We're smart. So we want to be able to intoxicate ourselves. It's normal, bro. Don't feel bad because you got caught with a drug that, you know, the government says we don't like, so we're going to lock you in a cage for it. You know, meanwhile, everyone's drinking their beers. The judges are getting drunk, and the lawyers and the doctors and the probation officers are getting lit at the bar. Like, dude, that's so stupid, man. You know, now we're finally, you know, weed's legal now. Like, you really get to see how many people actually smoked weed, bro. Like doctors going in there, lawyers going in there, just regular old dudes just going in get their weed, man. It's been like that forever. Everyone had to do it on the sly. You know? It's like, dude, If somebody wants to intoxicate, they want to change their perception of reality in a different way than you do by just getting drunk every Friday night at the bar after, 10 shots and 8 beers or whatever it is that you do. But, come Monday morning, yeah, these damn dopers, like that's what I'm saying. People are brainwashed and thinking that their own actions are wrong. You know what I mean? People are just brainwashed in this country, not just in this country, every country, just human beings in general. I'm down with BMX, like X game stuff. I had a BMX once back in the old days, back in middle school. What I have? I had a GT. Had like shocks on the front, dude. Had pegs on it. It was actually it was a dirt one, like like the dirt jumps one. So I didn't really need pegs on it, but I had pegs on it anyways, just to be cool. And like I could put people on the back, and ride them. You do that. So you jump on your back pegs and ride, give them rides and shit down the hills. So let's see, gotta go to bed by, it's only not that late yet. I gotta go to bed by 12 though. Not even 10 yet, so I've got a couple hours, I guess, if I want to. So what do you guys want to talk about? What do you guys, we're done with the president stuff. Let's talk about something else interesting. Oh, do you guys know who Mark Dice is? You ever watch him? Mark Dice? He does these, like, he's got a big YouTube channel. He does these things like, what would you rather have? This bar of silver or a Hershey's bar or something like that, dude. And he's like right outside of the place you could go cash in the bar of silver for like $1,000 or whatever it is. And like, I don't know, 100, 500 bucks. I don't remember how much it was. Like, oh, I'll take the Hershey's bar. Like everyone took the Hershey's bar, dude. I don't know if it was a bar of silver. Maybe it was like some silver coins or something like that. Everyone wanted the Hershey's bar, dude. And he does all these other ones like, hey, do you want to sign this petition to ban the Bible? The Bible, they're pushing their views on other people and it's just not right. Transgender stuff. We should just be able to do what we want. So will you sign this to ban the Bible? Oh, yeah. I agree, man. Yeah, let's ban the Bible. Let's ban free speech. You know what I mean? Like people just like so brainwashed, bro. Just sign it. Yeah, let's ban the Bible. You have seen that guy, Mark Dice? Mr. Ghost latest, he's got a badass one. He's the Mr. Ghost, he's the silent auditor, right? I love Mark Dice. I have 3 of his books. Oh, he's got books and everything. Shit. So Mark Dice, dude, he actually has a video with Adam Kokesh and this other dude's like something Zepper or whatever. Oh, dude, I gotta hold on. Username. I gotta see if I can find this guy, dude. Because this video is an amazing video. They go and they like try to troll. They're actually at the Federal Reserve, guys, and they're trolling like Federal Reserve security and all that shit comes out. Let's see if I can find it. Here, let's put it on so you guys can see what I'm looking at and shit. Okay, so we got Mark Dice, Adam Kokesh, Federal Reserve. Oh yeah, Luke Radowski. Now you guys know this guy, Luke Radowski? Yeah, hold on, let me turn this music off. This is a good ass video. It's only 6 minutes. Since it's kind of the topic we're talking about.
This is Luke Radowski out here in Washington, D.C. I'm here with Mark Dice and Adam Kokesh, and I decided to take them outside the Central Federal Reserve Banking building here in Washington, D.C. And whenever you come here and you take out a video camera, the police run at you like rabid dogs. So it should be interesting to see what will happen and transpire if all 3 of us come out here and start shooting with our video camera.
Detail, halt, right, face. Cameras, ready, record.
You know what's funny, dude? It's like, can you see like Adam Kokesh was a Marine, so you can tell like he actually knew his shit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do a showcase on this video. It's so funny the way he did that. Record.
So I really don't know what's happening here. I mean, every time I come out here by myself, the police just run up on me and try to intimidate me and scare me and tell me that this is not America and we can't film. But we haven't had that yet today. I don't know. Maybe there's too much testosterone here, and they just back off and are afraid of. Oh wait, I was wrong. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Good.
Anything I can help you with? No, we're just filming the Federal Reserve Bankster Mafia.
What is it called?
The Bankster Private Globalist Mafia.
Bankster Private Global Mafia.
Yeah.
There's a federal, private bank masquerading as a federal agency.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to
So
see
we're
if there's
just
anything I could
tourists.
do to help you
We
guys.
just wanted to come and see the evil root of America's economic problems with our own eyes.
Okay.
And do some investigations.
Sounds good.
Can we cross these barricades here or no?
No, sir.
Why not?
Well, actually, if you oh, wait a minute. Here comes my sergeant.
There you go.
Yeah, you guys used to have chains up here, but there used to have chains between all the pillars. But now they're gone. I was wondering if that meant that this area was an open public courtyard.
Wait, what? I want to. Okay.
Can we take a tour inside the Federal Reserve? Is it open to the public?
No, it's not.
No. Is this a?
It's a private bank. Of course, it's not open to the public.
Come on, puppy. Take a poop. Do your business. Take a dump on the Federal Reserve's front lawn.
We're gonna make it in the Federal Reserve yearbook. Are you ready for your close-up, Luke?
Oh yeah, here we go.
Mark,
Let's pose,
smile.
guys. Guys, let's pose.
Smile.
Facebook.com/Mark Dice, D-I-C-E. Yeah. Go get a close-up high-def photo of me there. A bunch of them.
Wait, now we've got the supervisors coming. How you doing, gentlemen?
How are you? Who you got with?
Ourselves.
Hey, congratulations. I just wanted to see the criminal bankster building.
We'll see. We'll look at it.
You can't go inside. It's a private bank. They won't let us in. You can't go inside, but you can see. See all you want. Yeah, we're seeing it.
Who are you with, sir?
Yeah, who are you guys with, sir? I'm with myself. Are you with the Federal Reserve?
You're carrying a gun in the District of Columbia, sir. Would you identify yourself and what agency you're working with?
Sir. Federal Reserve Police. Look, wait, the Federal Reserve has their own police?
And all the security.
What's this, an interview? I'm not granting it today. Well, there's no reasonable expectation of privacy in a public place, sir. So I'm not granting it. Well, I'm just curious why the Federal Reserve has their own police department. That's very interesting. A private bank has their own police department. That's interesting. I'm just curious how that works. What are we going to do today? Would you have a PIO, a public information officer, that could answer some questions for us? Is he inside where we can just buy appointment only? Who's this gentleman with right here? Who are you with, sir? You look like a bodyguard type of some sort. Who are you? No interviews today. I'm walking down the sidewalk of American citizens. I advise you not to bump into me, okay? Thank you.
You better not bump into him, Mark.
All right, I better not bump. He asked me just not to bump into him.
You just did.
I didn't bump into you. I brushed your suit, sir. I didn't bump into you. I accidentally brushed against your suit. I did not bump into you.
I have a right to take the walk down this cell phone.
Yes, of course you do.
You have no right to impede me.
Of course.
Correct. Yeah. I'm not impeding. I know that it's very rare that you get brushed up against someone on a sidewalk when you're walking in a public street. I know that's very, very rare occurrence. So I could understand why you feel in danger because of that. So we're just totally peaceful here.
Oh, they brought in the choppers. They're calling it for backup.
Hey, I'm just really curious how a private bank can have police. I mean, I could see a private security firm, but Federal Reserve police officers, that's very interesting phenomenon there. I'm glad I came to DC because I'm learning a lot. This is how the mafia functions. They have their own police department and security guards to protect the criminals. Luke, I've seen so many of your videos where you have confrontations with police, and it's very exciting just watching it, but experiencing it firsthand is extremely exciting. So
There you go.
thank you for showing me
no
such a
problem.
good time.
You know, the day's still young. We still got a lot to do.
How's it going? I'm Adam.
I'm James.
Nice to meet you. How'd you get this job? How'd you end up
No
working?
interviews today, sir.
Still just hanging outside the Federal Reserve with my new security buddy over here. Oh, let me try to go inside. But the door's wide open. How you doing, sirs? You guys open for tours today? No. Oh, I thought this was a federal building, public building. Aren't we? We're not allowed inside. Is this a? Why not? I'm just curious.
Excuse me. If you don't mind, you can't impede the doorway. I appreciate that. Step back and on public property, please.
Oh, step back on public property.
That's what I asked you to do,
Okay,
sir.
all right. So
right.
this
You
is
too.
private property.
Yeah.
This bank is
I'm telling
private
you, you can't
property.
impede the doorway. Film.
Okay.
That's what I'm telling you.
But you just said this was
Okay.
private. You just said
But
this
no,
was private
I know
property.
what I said.
You just said step back on public
You
property.
did what I asked you to do. I don't need to talk to you no more.
You just said step back on public property. So you just admitted this is private property. Hey, thank you. You know, sometimes the truth leaks out. You know, you can't hide the truth all the time. You know, it's interesting when you bury it, it just kind of emanates and comes out. One by one, we're going to expose you guys. The game's over.
Yep. And, you know, unfortunately, the game's not really over, though, right? Like, the game continues. I mean, people can expose it, but, like, nothing really happens. You know, let's be honest, guys. Nothing really happens. But, dude, these guys are like the OGs, bro. I mean, dude, Mark Dice and that Luke guy, which I follow. I don't know his name. It's Luke something. And Adam Kokesh. Those are like the OG auditors, dude. That video was like 2012 or 2011 or something, dude. Oh, see that like camcorder thing that Adam had, dude? It wasn't like a cell phone or like, like the camera that I got. It's like the old school shit. I don't even know if that shit was digital, bro. That shit might have been like tapes or something, like camcorders. But yeah, dude, like, you just hear them saying, oh, there's no expectation of privacy in public, like all that, dude. Like, they're like the OG auditors, bro. That was before audits. There was no audits. There was no First Amendment auditors back then, bro. But they weren't First Amendment auditors. They were just activists, bro. But like, part of their activism included no expectation of privacy in public, like the First Amendment, right? But that's not what they did. They didn't specifically go into a building to record. You know, it evolved into that. Their activism was much more broad, you know what I mean? Exposing other things, like, it's more intricate. They're exposing the Federal Reserve, and they just happen to know about First Amendment stuff, freedom of the press, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people that watch these audit videos, they know specifically about that stuff. Maybe they don't know that much about the Federal Reserve or, other issues. They just know that. So those guys are, that's why those guys are the OGs, man. Yeah, Luke Radowski. I love Luke Radowski. I follow him on Facebook too, man. So those are the OGs, guys. You got to subscribe to. Check out Mark Dice too, man. Mark Dice, he got some good ass videos, bro. Love some Mark Dice. Let's see if I can find see what else we can find.
This is Luke Radowski out here.
I mean, back in these old, this is only 4 years ago. Holy shit. I mean, how long ago? A lot of the Adam Kokesh shit is like hella old, dude. Adam Kokesh is my hero. You guys know I have a man crush on him. I do. I mean, he's invited me to his pad a couple times. I mean, I wouldn't say we're like friends, like, like hang out and shit, type friends, but like, we're friends for sure. But I mean, he's like, I just put him on such this pedestal, man, because everything that he says just resonates with me so perfectly, bro. Like, I'll say stuff, like, literally, that just, I like verbatim, like, just completely. People say, oh, Eric DMA goes, I'm more Adam Kokesh. He's such a nothing original. And it's true. Like, a lot of the shit that I say, sometimes it's not original, dude. I just copy it verbatim from what Adam says because it resonates with me so well. I watch his shit and it resonates so much that I'll literally memorize exactly what he said. That's how strong it hit me. You know what I mean? And that's what he said, dude. He's like, dude, thank you. I'm like, dude, thanks for being, you know, a supporter, man. And he's like, dude, thank you for like continuing on my legacy, is what he said. Because, you know, I'm trying my best. I'm not doing the best job. I still have my own thing to do, but you know, he's not on YouTube anymore. He's not doing activism anymore, guys. So he's like, thank you for continuing on my legacy, man. And I'm happy to do it, bro. So I'll do Adam Kokesh stuff from now on. Let's see if we can find, let's see what comes up. There's some crazy stuff going on here. So, you know, Adam Kokesh was arrested for racking a shotgun. You know, he's a felon. He lost his fucking Second Amendment right that he could rack a shotgun on Freedom Plaza right here. This Chris Kyle stuff, dude, is freaking. You guys remember that movie, Chris Kyle? You know, that movie, Sniper, bro? This is a freaking, it's kind of a long one, but I might do a whole like show on this, dude. That one hits hard too, man. Do you have a right to discriminate? Maybe you guys have heard me talking about, do you have a right to discriminate? Is discrimination in itself inherently bad? Let's watch this one, dude. This is a good one. This is where I got this from.
My name is Luna. I live here in Santa Monica and I'm shopping.
Awesome. Have you heard of Indiana's new religious freedom law?
No, I have not.
It's a new law that's causing a lot of controversy because it allows people to discriminate against homosexuals in their business. So like if they're coming in, and you've heard the wedding cake thing, like people refuse to make wedding cakes for gay weddings because of their religious beliefs. This law protects their ability to discriminate for whatever reason. If it's, you know, that they're racist, if they're homophobic. Now in Indiana, they're allowed to discriminate. A lot of people are very upset about this. What do you think about a law like that?
I am actually against those laws because this is how I believe. I just yeah.
So the government's good for stepping in here and making sure that people don't be racist or homophobic, right?
Yes.
So what would you call someone who has a business and says that like certain people for whatever reasons can't come? What does that make them?
That's horrible. But I have no comment on that.
Okay,
so.
that's fine.
But that's horrible. I mean, they cannot do that. This is, yeah, discrimination. I mean, yeah, for sure.
Do you have any friends?
Yes, of course.
Would you describe you have a close circle of friends?
Yes.
And can you tell us like what those people are like?
They mix. I have gay friends. I have normal friends. I have I don't know. I have so many friends. They are different people. They're awesome.
How would you describe how you choose who you make friends with and who you decide you don't want to be friends with?
Usually, the people you just wants to be friends, they just kind of same as you are, and you attract each other. And I prefer safe, drama-free, normal people. Like,
so you want to avoid conflict. You want people that are like you, that are similar to you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So what if I came in and said, hey, you know what, Luna, I don't think you have enough black friends. I think you might be racist. So I'm going to pass a law that says you have to, in your circle of friends, you have to have a certain number of black friends. In fact, you have to be friends with that guy and that guy and that guy right now. And if you don't, you're going to go to jail because we made it against the law for you to not do what we want, because we don't want racists or homophobes. You know, we want to make sure that you adhere to the social standards of who you associate with. Would that be a good law? Why not?
I don't think it's, I mean, there is no such a law. Can be like you choose for who has the right to choose who to be with.
Well, that's not true. And before this law was passed in Indiana that you don't support, people had to be, accept whoever came to them as customers. And basically, if they didn't want to associate someone for like the same reason that you don't want certain people to be friends, right? You said you didn't want to be friends with people who would cause drama, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be friends with people who are not similar to you, at least at some level, right?
Yeah.
So right now, that's the way the law is for businesses, that if you if you want to discriminate for whatever reason, if you're a Hooters and you don't want to hire a male waitress, right? Because it'd be kind of silly, right? Or if you run a strip club, you can't have a, if you don't want to hire a dude, or you don't want to hire a woman because she doesn't look good naked, right? You get to discriminate on those grounds, right?
Yes, of course.
But for a lot of things, there are laws now that prevent you from being able to discriminate based on your personal preferences. So how is it that you support you having a right to do something, but people in Indiana, you don't support their law and you think their government should stop them from discriminating?
I correct myself. I don't.
So you've changed your mind. You see the comparison now? Yes. Okay, awesome. Now
I'm sorry. I definitely support those people.
Well, we don't have to support people who are racist and homophobic, right? No. But we also don't have to use violence of government against them, right? Yes, so this is, I want to share this with you because it's really important. Now that you've realized this, you might be going, oh crap, why am I taking the side of these homophobic racists?
I first was like kind of confused, but yeah, that makes sense.
So the answer here is that we can address homophobia and racism better than government can with nonviolent solutions by raising awareness and making sure that people know that if there's a business doing bad things, you shouldn't wait for the government to pass a law, right? That's not very effective or efficient. You shouldn't tell the government to, on your behalf, go in and point guns at the business owner to tell them what to do. But if you don't like what they're doing and it's really offensive, you should tell everyone and make sure that they go out of business. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today, Luna. I really appreciate it.
Sorry.
No, that was great. No, that's exactly what we want to do. We want to put people on the spot and challenge their beliefs and make them think.
Yes. See, dude, Adam has a really good way of like getting people to understand things. You know what I mean? He like kind of lays it out there. He has this specific skill, man, where he says things in a way to like make them really think about it, dude. I've seen so many of these interviews, guys. You guys got to watch the Adam Kokesh channel, dude. All these street interviews he does. Adam versus the Man Show. I don't think this is Adam versus the Man Show. This is like the street interviews. His street interviews are my favorite. And that's really what the DMA 2.0 channel used to be called Keep It Honest was going to be. It was going to be those, street interviews, and they still could be. But, she changed her mind, right? Like I say, guys, if those of you who've been, watching me and listening to a lot of stuff that I say, I get that from him. You know what I mean? Discrimination in itself isn't inherently bad. And we don't have to use force and coercion against those people. That doesn't mean that we have to support people being homophobic, right? It's called conscious consumerism. I can just choose to not give them my business, and I can spread awareness. I can do Yelp reviews, and I can do other things. I can tell people about it. But it doesn't mean they're nonviolent though, right? So that's the non-aggression principle, right? That says that the only time force is necessary is if someone else initiates force on you. Well, just because, they don't like gay people doesn't mean that we should initiate force on them, right? But we can still not support them. Doesn't mean I have to agree with what you're doing. Dude, my aunt's gay, dude. I've said publicly, dude, I have lots of gay friends. I have a trans friend. I got, I love gay people, dude. But I don't think that somebody should be like, forced to serve someone just because they're gay. Doesn't mean I have to support them. It's just like a fundamental principle, right? Like, yeah, I don't like what you're doing, but you're not technically hurting anyone, right? Therefore, I'm not going to be like a kindergartner and tell on you, hey, 911, they're doing this. Go stop them. Go point guns at them, right? That's not necessary. We don't need to kill spiders with 9mm, right? That's overkill, dude. Like the free market can handle things, guys. That's why I'm saying, like, do we really need like all the things that people think we have to have government for? Like, there's no other way. Like, dude, the free market can handle a lot of things that people think that there's no other way, right? Like I say, and I didn't say this, Adam Kokesh said it, but I've said it too, is that if you made all your money and half of your money just vanished into the memory hole, that would still be better than the government taking it from you by force and then using that money to enact violent policies against you, right? So that's why I love Adam, dude. I mean, he just has this talent, dude, of being able to. I mean, that lady, because most people think that way. Most people think, no, it's totally wrong to tell, you know, a gay couple that you're not going to bake a cake for them. Yeah, that's discrimination. We should use violence and coercion against those people, right? But then when he puts it out there, well, like, do you have friends? Yeah, I mean, how do you make your friends? Oh, so the people that you don't have similar interests with, then you discriminate against those people, right? And there's other ones too, like that was just one. There's other ones that he said, I think. Let's see. See if there's any. Oh, shoot. Oh, I thought there was going to be. The way the computer does it is different. Oh, this one's funny, dude. Clinton supporter realizes truth about Hillary. This is 2.1 million. Let's watch this one real quick. It's old, but like, I mean, this kind of shows you the mindset. I don't know if some people in here are liberals, but this is a good one.
Since 5:30 in the morning. Yeah. Well, I just got here. All right. Just but some people, you know, naturally like move away, and then the next thing you know, you're like 10 feet to the left. All right. So you want to hold up your book, or you have your name on it?
Yeah, they gave us our name on it.
Is it part of like the regimentation?
Yeah, because they grabbed like a bunch of.
Well, I'll give you a chance to describe it.
It was like, oh, hey, Jack, how's it going?
Okay. All right. Very, very well organized. All right. So why don't you start by telling us your name, where you're from, and why you support Hillary Clinton?
I'm Allison, and I'm from Los Angeles, and I'm a Democrat, and I've been following her for years.
And because you've been following for years, you're here at 5:30 in the morning to get in line to meet her and get a book signed. Did she live up to your expectations?
She did. She's gorgeous. I was really surprised. I was like, oh my gosh, like, you're stunning. So that was really cool. And when you grew up,
it's being surrounded by security guards. Is that like extra glow, right?
You know what? I don't know. I think it's just her. She's was so sweet to all of us. And, you know, we've been here, like you said, since like 5 this morning, and it was worth it, even for like 2 seconds.
So why do you support her?
So, I mean, she stands for like a lot of things that I do, and the fact that she could be a first female president is huge for other females. Like, that's a great role model for us to all have in our lives.
So what things are you referring to there that you guys have in common?
Oh, God.
Things that you're passionate about, positions, things.
That's the thing, guys. And just real quick, a lot of women wanted to vote for Hillary Clinton simply for the sole fact that she's a woman. And we need a first woman president. And this is a prime example right here of that, of this lady not knowing or having one fucking clue of what any of her policies are, what she believes in, but she's a woman, guys. Same thing with black people, you know, with Obama. Oh, why are you voting for Obama? Because I won't want to say the word, but he's an N word. Like, that's what they'd say. I've heard black people say that. That's the reason, bro. That's the only reason.
That you support.
Oh gosh, if my mother sees.
Come on, you said you wouldn't slide away.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't know if I want much I want to get into, but
well, these are the things that you stand
I know.
for, right? What do you stand for? We'll make it easier for you. What do you stand for?
What do I stand for? Well,
being a Democrat, right?
Yeah. Like a big thing that I know that's up right now is for the student loans and like that's a big thing, as well as LGBT rights, because that's one of the big things that I'm really focused on. And I know there's been a big move with Obama, and I know that she'll be one that would continue that. So that's something that I'm really passionate for. And so I think that if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be her.
Now, you said it's a big deal that we would have the first female president, right?
Yes.
So that gives you a little like bonus incentive to vote for someone, right?
Yeah.
That might outweigh some other factors.
Yeah.
So like most Democrats are like they believe in civil liberties, right? And like privacy rights and things like that. You support those positions?
Yes.
Okay, well that's fine. Most Democrats are relatively anti-war, right?
Yes.
So would you describe yourself as anti-war?
Yes.
So you'd be willing to compromise on some of these things, or maybe like even LGBT rights, or student loans or things like that. You'd be willing to compromise to have a female president, right?
Yes, to an extent. As long as I agree with a majority of what it is, then I'm all for it. Because there's not going to be anyone who perfectly represents everything that I want.
Sure.
So if there's certain things that are hit upon that I really do feel strongly for, like, she's not going to be able to get everything. And I know that.
Well, like if a president was, say, getting people killed unnecessarily, you know, in a way that you thought was unnecessary, that you disagreed with, you'd be like, no, that doesn't matter what color of your skin or what gender, like you wouldn't support him, right?
Of course. No.
So, like supporting Obama's drone strike policies that are killing children in the Middle East, that would be a disqualifier, right?
Oh yeah.
So, like supporting the war in Iraq, that would be a disqualifier.
Yeah.
So, like calling Ed Snowden, saying that what he did by revealing the documents from the NSA, like that was supporting terrorism, like that would be a disqualifier, right?
Yeah.
Like
that's hard.
So, like it'd be nice to have a woman president, but if she was like doing those things and like getting people killed unnecessarily or supporting those policies, you'd be like, no, I'm not going to support her.
Yeah.
Well, I have some bad news for you.
I know. I know. It's not a perfect candidate, and I know that there's a lot of, especially in those particular things, that she is for. So really, it's to an extent.
So you knew all that, and you support her anyway.
Yes.
So you're willing to say, let's have a female president in the White House, even if she gets people killed, just because she has different genitalia, we're going to support her. It doesn't matter if people die as a result.
I mean, it's a really horrible thing to say, but I guess I didn't think of it in that sense. That's really bad.
Maybe you should think about it more.
I really think I should.
Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. That was fun. I appreciate you engaging and having fun with that. Let me give you a sticker. This is from my YouTube channel. And here, are you guys all together?
Yeah.
Well, here. Thanks for waiting. Man, were you saying that people?
Say, guys, what do you guys think about that? People that they're just gonna vote for her because she's a woman. She didn't know. She didn't know that stuff. She didn't know that she was, pro-war and kill hundreds of children in drone strikes type of person. She didn't know that. She's like, oh yeah, that would be a disqualifier. Like, and then he said, well, I got bad news for you. And then she realized, oh shoot, I know, right? Like she knew right away where he was going with that, but she didn't realize that the entire time he was asking. She thought he kind of, he fooled her. You know what I mean? So. What's up, Richard? Never seen you here before, bro. How'd you find this channel, man? People die every day. That's true. People do die every day. Yeah, dude, he said that, man. He had the audacity to say outweigh. Okay, so what do you think, guys? I mean, you guys liking this or no? Let's see what else we got in here. We'll do an Adam Kokesh series. See what else we got. Adam Kokesh arrested during freedom promotions in New Orleans. Oh, he looks like a freaking KKK guy right there. Oh, look, he was on Alex Jones. Alex Jones is funny, dude. He's a crazy guy, dude. Alex Jones, actually, I knew when Adam Kokesh came to Denver on one of his tours. I was talking to Adam's friends and shit, and they're talking about how they know Alex Jones, and Alex Jones used to stand for something, and he used to be for real, and then that Alex Jones admitted to them that sometimes he does do shit for the money, and like people will pay him for shit, and like he does make up false shit. You know what I mean? So like not everything Alex Jones says you can take to the bank, dude. Like everything that Adam Kokesh says, I think you can take to the bank. Alex Jones has exposed some real shit, dude. He's the one that blew the lid off the Bohemian Grove, bro. That's a huge deal, man. But like, he got manipulated by the money, dude. Cops obey Adam Kokesh at smoke. Oh yeah, this is a good one. It's only 2 minutes, bro. They arrested him for like some smoking weed or something. This is a good one. Let's watch this.
Rangers. Sir, you're gonna have to back up a little bit. There's some marijuana smoking going on here.
He was there while I was being assaulted.
Hey, don't touch me.
I didn't touch him.
Don't touch us!
Dude, Adam Kokesh, one of again the first cop watcher kind of dudes, man. It was back in 2012 or 2011 or something, and he was. I remember when I first went in and met him, dude. Before I was an auditor, years before I was an auditor, and something about cops. I said, something about I don't know if I'm really afraid of cops, and he's like, well, you should be. You should be afraid of cops, And I was like, oh yeah, I know, you're right. Yeah, I should be afraid of cops. Because I don't know. I don't remember what I said. I just remember that one thing. I'm saying, well, you should be,
Backing up for your own safety, sir. Hey, you don't have to push me. I'm a little too close. I think you're a little too close, sir. I think you're a little too close. I think you're going to have to back up. Really, you're just going to have to back up. Eventually, we're going to need you to clear the area. John, we're just going to need you to back up just a little bit. If you would just back up. I love how we are using so many taxpayer resources. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Please back up just a little bit.
Little man syndrome.
Thank you, sir. Sir, thank you. Please back up just a little bit. Back up. Thank you.
Back up.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
Please back up. Thank you. Thank you very much for backing up.
Come on.
Back up.
You're a little too close.
Kryptonite, you see it. Back up from the long dance arena. Please back up. Thank you. You didn't have freedom before. Now you have freedom.
Back in the cave.
I'm not checking the flying over
Yeah, man. Sir. Back up, bud. You're too close. Back up for my safety, for citizen safety. You need to back up. And they all backed up, dude. They couldn't handle it. It's too big of a mob for them. So we just watched that one. Oh, look, here he is with Ron Paul, bro. Look at Ron Paul, man. We got to watch this one.
This is Adam Kokesh with Congressman Ron Paul in his office in Washington, D.C., talking about my race going into 2010 and what's happening here on the Hill and all the ways that the movement that this man did such an incredible job to make what it is today and build the kind of grassroots support that's going to make it possible to put more Liberty candidates in office in 2010. So thank you. Do you have anything you'd like to share with our viewers?
Well, we sure could use a lot of help here. I keep thinking the country is a mess, and it really is. And it's at times it's slightly depressing to be here in Washington. But I really get encouraged when I leave Washington because I think the freedom movement is much further along outside Washington. And actually, I'm more optimistic now than I have been in the past because the young people are actually waking up. And that's where all the movements are. I think it's where all the revolutions that take place is with the younger generation. And I have so many people coming into this office now. They're high school kids and college kids, and they come in and they talk about the Federal Reserve, and they talk about auditing the Fed, and they bring their parents in, and the parents have been thinking about it in those terms. They have been sort of locked into the traditional conservative opinions about what to do, and they wonder why we're not making progress up here. But because of the seriousness of our economic crisis right now, a lot of people are giving deep thought to monetary policy and fiscal policy, and they're aware that some major changes have to occur. Now, the members of Congress are starting to recognize this, but they're sort of at a loss because I don't think they understand basic free market economics, and that is what we need. We need people to really come to the belief that it's in their interest to believe in freedom. Right now, there's too many people think that the government will take care of me. There's always going to be a safety net. But in a way, it might be a blessing in disguise that if there is no safety net, maybe people say, hey, I better take care of myself. Oh, the government's not going to take care of me forever. How can they provide free education and free medical care, free housing, a job forever, and not have to pay for it? But that is what is changing, and that's why I think in the next 10 years, we're going to see dramatic changes. And today here in Washington, I would say Don't wait for tomorrow or the next day. Matter of fact, at this very time, we're getting ready to vote for the supplemental bill, which is a total disaster and going in exactly the opposite direction. So in time, we're going to see a change because we can't continue this. You just can't keep spending money, borrowing money, and then printing what you don't have. That leads to a disaster. So this is why I'm encouraged that young people are getting involved and this message is being spread and people are learning about sound free market economics. So I'm delighted you're very much involved and interested in this.
I have some good news for you, sir. The revolution is alive and well in New Mexico, as it is throughout this country. There are a lot of people getting behind candidates like myself because of what you have inspired them to do. You're not going to have to wait 10 years to get some help on the Hill here. Help is on the way.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Wow, dude. You know, it's funny when he puts it in that
Back here
perspective, you
locally.
know, like, you know, he's sitting there saying, hey, man, because of what you did is inspired me to do what I'm doing, right? And then because of what Adam did is inspiring me to do what I'm doing, right? It's like this domino effect, you know, it just spreads, bro. So like, it's inspiring, man. It's like, it really strikes a chord with me, dude, when I see stuff like that, dude. It's like, wow, puts things in perspective, man. You know, if you can just convince one person, guys, that's all you got to do is convince one person. And all that person has to do is convince one person. And that person convinces one person, right? You see where I'm going with that? It keeps going. So, but we're going to take a little bathroom break. So I'll be right back. Yeah. Hope she's doing well too. Yeah, I mean, you guys could follow her on her channel. I don't know. I don't know if she's published much, but the Reagan and DMA show is no longer, guys.
This is Adam Kokesh with.
Let's go back to the. Let's see. I don't know. There's like, I guess this is the thing. See, if you go to, I think I figured it out here. So we go to this one that we wanted to watch, which was. Oh, this one right here. That's where he gets arrested. This is the one where he gets arrested. It's 12 minutes though. We're not going to watch that one. But there was one that we watched. Oh, do you guys know this guy? You guys know Steven Crowder, right, dude? Dude, Steven Crowder is a fucking douchebag, bro. Like, he's got some good ideas, dude. Trust me. But like, you know, he's totally anti-pot and shit. Like, you know, he's like extreme conservative to the max, bro. But like, he does have some good ideas, man. And you know, Adam says, I used to be a fan of Steven Crowder, bro. Check this out, dude. Steven Crowder is a freaking tool, bro.
Yeah. Okay. No, I didn't make that argument.
Okay, so well, it came across in the video that you made about marijuana legalization that you were making the case that alcohol was not as dangerous as marijuana. Is that not the case?
I didn't make the case. Dr. Boniface, who's an MD.
You know, he kind of comes, I know he's like an intellectual, but he comes across as like one of those like jock douchebags guy. You know, like that's kind of the guy he comes off as is for me.
In neuropsychiatry, and one of the foremost doctors across the country who lectures on the subject, made the case, made the comparison between how the body processes alcohol versus marijuana. And she made a very compelling case.
Well, and she pointed out some specific facts about the differences there. But in the bigger context of your video, it really seemed like you were making the case that alcohol was more dangerous or less dangerous than marijuana. So are you not? Are you not?
First thing in the video. It was the first thing I said in that video.
I apologize. I didn't memorize the entire thing.
No, you wanted to catch me on one thing that a doctor said that I didn't say. So you should interview the doctor because I'm not qualified to discuss exactly where marijuana is stored. Ramey, actually, right here. Come in here, Ramey. Come in here. Randy, come on. Come in here. Come on, Ramey, come on.
So which is more dangerous, marijuana or alcohol?
Ramey was talking about how it was interesting that marijuana was stored in fat. I'm not going to answer your question. I would ask the doctor. But the first point I make, and it's so funny because you're a libertarian, libertarians got so mad, was I said, if you want to make it a state issue, if it should be legalized or not, fine. That's a legitimate discussion to have. The problem I have is with people legalizing it on a false premise. Whether it's
I agree. I agree with that.
More harmful or less harmful than alcohol, saying that it's harmless or saying that legalizing it won't result in its increased usage, whereas the data that I use showed that actually usage increases, particularly among young people. I said that's not honest, but I believe it's a state issue.
And libertarians, I think a lot of them who dislike that video missed that point, that you were criticizing the liberal argument for legalization of marijuana, which is I like it, it's safe, therefore the government should not prevent me from doing it.
Well, you see, and you forgot it too because I didn't remember that was the first point I made in the video, and I was a point that I went out of my way to very much specify. It's not just a liberal argument; it's a libertarian argument. A lot of people who want to push, the marijuana bandwagon, try and act as though it's not a harmful substance, as though if you legalize it, it will decrease use or it'll end the black market, the drug market. And that isn't accurate. That was what the video was about. So I'm not going to answer questions that are outside of my wheelhouse that I had doctors answer on film because I knew they were out of my wheelhouse.
Sure. Well, the libertarian argument, I mean, libertarians will make those arguments, but the libertarian argument is you own your body. You get to decide what you do with it. It's morally wrong for the government to say you can put this in your body and not that.
Yeah.
So you agree with that?
I made the case in the video. It's a state issue. If states want to legalize marijuana, fine. Well, I would vote against legalizing it in my state because I don't.
So you would vote to use the force of government to interfere with an individual's right to decide what they put in their body based on your opinion?
I guess you don't understand the role of federal government.
Enlighten me.
Well, you understand the difference between states' rights and federal government's rights. So you believe that there should be a federal ban on any state making marijuana illegal?
I don't think governments have rights. I think individuals have rights. That's the libertarian case.
So the libertarian does not believe in any fundamental role of federal government.
Well,
because if you don't believe in a fundamental role of limited federal government, if you don't frame it in and give it legitimate parameters, then you're just opening the floodgates for anyone to tack onto the list whatever they want. Exactly. I believe the fundamental role of the government, and I've used this analogy as a Canadian is the role of a hockey referee. Firstly, I appreciate you didn't even ask me if I want to do the interview. You didn't tell me which angle you were. You lied. You were dishonest, which is pretty cowardly, I think. But I think it's pretty cowardly. I think you should just tell me where you come from. But the fundamental.
I told you I'm coming from a libertarian perspective here.
I said, what's the angle on this piece? And you immediately go into something a doctor said that I didn't say and ask me a question that only a doctor would be qualified to answer and throw it to me. And then you didn't understand the point that I made right off the bat that marijuana is a state issue, which is, of course, a libertarian stance.
No, it's not.
Okay, well, most libertarians I know would say that it's a state issue. But the fundamental role of government would be that of a hockey referee. That would be a good example. It's designed solely to keep the players, meaning the people, safe from inside and outside threats. The legitimate role would be things like military, police force. If you don't think so, we would disagree and make sure the pace of the game is kept, meaning that you make sure people are following the rules and no one is harmed. Aside from that, you step out of the way.
What is government?
Thank you.
Yep.
I guess that's that.
That's that.
Normally word
He was thrown around like conservative, liberal, patriot. They don't really know the real meaning of it.
Seems kind of cowardly to just walk away from an otherwise fun interview. But if you were willing to define government, do you want?
Because I told you that's how I was going to answer your thing. I'm not going to answer questions regarding doctors. I just gave you my view on government.
So I gave you a different question.
We've been doing an interview for 6 minutes. Do you see the pan around here? These people have been pan around. Go ahead, can you pan around?
No, I know. There's people waiting to take my picture here, but that's okay.
Did you throw a race card at me? Yeah, that's pretty inappropriate. I'm saying these people. Hey, folks, can you make some sounds since you won't pan around? Who's been waiting for pictures here? Can you make some sounds? Yeah, I just don't want to be rude. So I answered your question. I felt like I answered it adequately. I just really wish you would be more straightforward.
I want to have a friendly debate about the role of government.
You should actually tell someone and ask them if you're about to interview them.
I did. I said, I came up. I said, would you like to do an interview for my YouTube channel? Was there something you didn't understand about that? I guess you didn't understand. Would you like to do an interview for my YouTube channel? Which would go to like not understanding what is government or the role of government, and this is why we have to get these parting shots in here for people that aren't willing to engage in the ideas. There are a lot of conservatives here at CPAC 2013 who want to talk to libertarians, who are willing to engage on the issues, but when you have a guy like Steven Crowder who doesn't even want to listen, who doesn't want to engage, well, then you get this conservative establishment mentality of we can't challenge these ideas, we can't ask questions, we just have to go along with the dogma. Well, that's what you get from some people here. In case you were wondering, because Steven Crowder in his video, at least with the video, was making the case that alcohol was safer than marijuana, I thought I was going to challenge him to a fight with him under the influence of alcohol and myself under the influence of marijuana. But instead, I challenge him to a fight. He calls me a coward and runs away.
Our orders were to come down here and help
He calls
out.
him the coward, and then he runs away and says, "Oh, no more questions." Yeah, that sounds pretty cowardly to me, bud. So. Can't find any Adam Kokesh's. Let's see. I signed his. See all these signatures here? My signature's on there too. Somewhere in there, his little van, his little trailer thing. My signature's on there. Let's see what else we got. What else we got Adam Kokesh related? Adam Kokesh arrested. Hold on, let's dude. Adam Kokesh does not comply, dude. Look at him. Okay, I think we should watch this one, dude. I've never seen this one, I don't think. It's only got 7,000 views, but let's see what happens.
Well, I'm not going to cooperate with my answers. You guys.
Come on.
The original auditor, guys. OG auditor right here, dude. Not going to comply.
They're still seeing if it's extraditable right now.
Okay, so they haven't confirmed this, but we're having fun already.
So, Adam, what's going on? I just went live.
Sexual
I don't know.
assault.
Seems like a bad second date.
Were they requested or they just rolling through?
So this is the scene I walked up on. I literally just got here, found Adam, and
This is what happens when you're an advocate for peace.
so what's you guys? I just walked up. What's going on? Anyway,
Extraditable warrant.
for what?
The point of all of this is because when I was on probation, I had an ankle bracelet.
Failure to appear in Maryland. Okay. Luis, they're calling it failure to appear, I guess, for a court date in Maryland.
Yeah. I was sent a letter saying it was resolved from the TSA. I still have it. I have that at home. I can find a way to.
Hold on. Let's see. I got it. The TSA videos go hard in the paint, dude. Arrested in my underwear. Have you guys seen this one? I actually have a showcase on this video, dude. This video goes hard in the paint, bro. It doesn't get much doper than this. This is like gangster ass like audit video, dude. So this guy, he did a protest that there's no rule that says you can't go through TSA checkpoint in a Speedo or in a bathing suit.
This is for you, big sis.
You got a shirt, sir?
Yeah.
Can you put a shirt on, please?
Yeah, I was just wondering because I looked on the TSA website and it didn't say anything about going through in a bathing suit.
No, we just asked you to put a shirt on.
So am I legally obligated to, or can I go through like
Just
this?
asking you to put a shirt on.
Well, I will once I get on the other side. Is that cool?
Got through completely clean, dude. Nothing illegal about that.
Just last Friday, while flying to Oklahoma City, I went through the TSA checkpoint, and unfortunately, I was unable to avoid the body scanner line. I normally try to go through the metal detector line since I don't like getting skin cancer. It's really not that fun. And was unable to avoid the pat down resulting from opting out of going through a body scanner. And so I was told that I was now in line for a groping. And when I got in front of the TSA agent, I said, you know what, sir? Frankly, I'm much more comfortable standing in public in my underwear than being felt up by a stranger. Why don't you just inspect my clothes and I'll be on my way? And so I took off my shirt and my pants. I was standing around in my socks and my underwear, and he looked incredibly uncomfortable at that point, called his supervisor over, and I informed them that I was intending to comply with TSA security protocol. It was at that point that the TSA officers decided to call in the police. He came up to me from behind, put me in handcuffs, and pulled me out of the security area to the area right past it, and told me that I was being arrested for disorderly conduct because it was inappropriate to be in boxers in front of children. For Christ's sakes, there are children at the airport, at the TSA checkpoint, and they might see you in your underwear. So we have to handcuff you in your underwear and sit you here in front of them for about an hour while we debate the exact criteria for what constitutes disorderly conduct, while hundreds of passengers get to see you in your boxers.
2011, guys, 2011.
I just want to ask you if you think it's disorderly conduct for me to be in public in my underwear, if you think it's appropriate to put me in handcuffs and then sit me down in my underwear in public for an hour while people are looking on. Do you think that's appropriate, Officer Robinson? No comment? You would aid and abet someone in their disorderly conduct and create more disorderliness. No comment? No comment on the standard?
So, yeah, just no comment. I'm just going to follow orders without question, just like most police officers.
Of disorderly conduct here?
No comment.
Or police officers causing people to see someone in their underwear for an hour?
What this incident demonstrates is that there is no real credible terrorist threat, and the TSA doesn't actually care about keeping you safe. I was following the directives of the TSA. I was following their own rules and regulations. I was in complete compliance. I was calm and orderly the entire time. They had the opportunity to send me through the screening area with full confidence that I was not a terrorist or had any weapons on me of any kind. Instead, they chose to have me arrested. Further proof that the TSA doesn't care about keeping you safe, or at least would rather grope you than actually screen you.
Yep.
Either the TSA is really, really good at their job and really, really competent, or there is no credible terrorist threat. This is disorderly conduct. And this is law and order in the United Police States of America. And further proof that you have been so propagandized, we the American people have been so propagandized about terrorism to give up our civil liberties, our tax dollars, and the lives of so many American soldiers in this lie of a global war on terror to support a government that doesn't even care about keeping you safe.
Booyah.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go back to that. So you guys can see this.
War on terror to support a government that doesn't even care about keeping.
Right here on his arm, right here, it says USMC. That's what it says. USMC. I think that's what it says. Maybe that's something different. Doesn't look like it. That's what it says. But Utah State Marble Champion, guys. It actually stands for United States Marine Corps. But I was actually talking to Officer Ralph for Sheridan Police Department. He had USMC. I was like, oh, is that Utah State Marble Champion? I like Officer Ralph from Sheridan Police Department, dude. He's the best one so far that I've met there. I was going to actually go there and file a commendation for him because I like him. But I don't know. Maybe that's a bad thing because maybe, his colleagues will like look down on him. Sheridan's kind of a small police department. They might look down on him if DMA gives him a commendation. But he was such a nice guy, dude. We talked about it. He even agrees with, speeding laws. Maybe it's not all, a lot of it is about just stealing money from people. It doesn't necessarily keep people safe. He tried to argue it a little bit and I heard his side. But anyways, I have been wanting to do, and I haven't had the balls to do it yet because I have traveled since I've been doing my activism, but I wanted to reenact this entire thing, dude. I am going to go, and I'm going to say it now so you guys can hold me accountable. I am going to go when I'm in the airport, and I'm going to say the same thing. You know what, sir? I really don't feel comfortable, with the groping, and I don't want to go through the body scanner because I don't like skin cancer. So I really feel more comfortable with you just inspecting my clothes. So I'm just going to take off my clothes and I'm going to take off my shirt and my pants. I'm going to sit there in my underwear and my socks and just see what happens, bro. And reenact it so I can play flashbacks from his video, right? See what happens, dude. I mean, think about it. It's not illegal, right? They proved it. It's not illegal to go through in a Speedo. That guy did it. It's not illegal, guys. Like, oh, there's children here. Children might see you in your underwear. So do you not take your children to the pool? Is that like forbidden? What about the beach? Is that a forbidden spot? What about like the Olympics? They see swimmers. Is that forbidden too? There's men in Speedos. Like you see the bulge and everything, dude. Like at least in my boxers, bro, like you're not seeing that. But like Speedos, bro, like come on, dude. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, when, oh, you can't record my children, it's so taboo. Like that's the same kind of mentality, right? Who cares if a child sees some guy in his boxers, bro? Like who cares? You take your kids to the pool, right? It's the same thing, dude. It's a different kind of fabric, bro. What's the difference between boxers and swim trunks, bro? Like seriously, what's the difference, bro? There's no difference, man. It's different fabric, bro. So I've always wanted to do that as an audit, bro. Or not an audit, whatever it would be. But I'm going to do that. So maybe the next time I fly, maybe I'll have the courage to do it. Because like I know, dude, it's hard, guys. It's hard to put yourself in that position where like the cop's probably gonna get called and you could get her, handcuffs and arrested. You go to jail. Who knows? I'm on federal probation now. Like it's hard, guys. It's not like just easy shit to do. Like it is. It's hard. So I haven't had the courage to do it yet, but I'm going to do it though. Oh, look, yeah. You know who it was? It was Blind Fury, dude. Yeah, because I'm subscribed to him, so he shows up on my feed a lot. Blind Fury, bud. He did that thing, Blind Fury with you see that him? He did the battle with, and it wasn't a battle, it was just like a collaboration with Harry Mack. I mean, Harry Mack, dude, is like, even though how dope Blind Fury is, like Harry Mack is like the great dude. There's not any comparison, bro. It's like if Blind Fury is like an A, then Harry Mack is like A++++++, dude. Like there's just no comparison to him, dude. He's the greatest of all time. What's up, M Wind? Bad cops keep the good cops down. Referring back to your accommodations comment for the Sheridan officer. Yeah, they do. They do, man. It's like, if I go give him an accommodation, everyone else might clown him, bro. You know, maybe he'll get punished for me giving him an accommodation. Who knows? I don't want to embarrass him. And I told this guy, he was a sheriff's deputy dude, and he was, you know, he was being pretty cool, but like, you know, he was kind of young and kind of cocky. And he was like, hey, do you have a 5280 on your knuckles? Because I showed you guys I used to have tattoos. It's like, nope. Like, you don't? I was like, no. So let me see your hands. And I was like, there's no tattoos there? I was like, do you see any tattoos? He's like, no. I was like, okay, I don't have any. He's like, lift up your shirt. Because I was getting bonded out, dude. I was getting out. I was like, oh, I'm getting out finally. I've been in there for 10 hours, bro. I was trying to get out. I was like, I'm not lifting. What's going to happen if I'm not lifting up my shirt? And he's like, you have to. I was like, well, what's going to happen? Is it going to be an additional charge? He's like, you're going to have to go sit in that cell for a while. And like, he was just trying to like make fake threats probably, but like, I kind of caved, dude. I was like, oh, so you're going to punch me more? I was like, okay, fine. Lifted up my shirt. He's like, where's your 5280? I was like, dude, I told you I don't have, do you see any tattoos? I don't have any tattoos. And so then it came to bond me out, and the sergeant has to like verify it. And like, it took forever, bro. And then they finally came out, and they were like, you know, what's the 5280 stuff? Like, that's why it's like, that's what's taking so long, is because, you know, it shows that you got 5280 on your hands. I was like, dude, he's like, did you get them removed? And I was like, yes, I got them removed. And then like, they had to verify. He's like, what did it say? And I said, core 5280. And then he went up and he's like, what did it say? And he said, core 5280. And it's like, yeah, that's what he said, core 5280. And he's like, do you got braces? And I was like, he's like, okay, yeah. So they can verify it's me. But like, that cop, you know, he lied, bro. That deputy in the jail. He's like, oh, you know, I should have, now that I think back, I should have said like, no, dude, do what you're going to do, bro. Like, he couldn't keep me there. You know, sometimes when you're there, and you're like about to get out, you're like, you don't want to rock the boat. So even I have weak moments, you know, but I should have said, you know, nah, dude, no, I'm not lifting up. I don't have to lift up my shirt for you, bro. Like, it's not a requirement for me to get bonded out of jail, dude. I'm sorry. It's not. You know, maybe next time I get arrested, hopefully I won't get arrested. You know, it's probably not going to happen, but on 5280 there's 5,280 feet in a mile. It's a mile high city, mile high auditor, right? So I was talking to him. I mean, he's a cool dude. And I was, you know, trying to be cool with him. I try to be cool with everyone, dude. He's doing my fingerprints and shit. And I was like, hey, man, so how long you been, you know, deputy? And he's like, oh, like 4 years. I was like, you go on the streets too, or just this in here? And he's like, no, just in here. But that's, you know, I'm going on the street soon. I was like, when you going? He's like, oh, within this year or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Maybe I'll see you out there, bro. And he's like, oh, I hope not, man. According to your charges, you know, you're a troublemaker, because, you know, my charge was obstruction, right? I was like, hey, man, that's just government retaliation, bro. And, you know, I told him, I was like, you know, in Colorado, in order to obstruct a peace officer, you have to use physical violence, threaten to use physical violence, or an obstacle. And, you know, I was just standing there, bro, and they just don't like me because I was recording. He's like, oh, you're an auditor? I was like, yeah. It's like, oh, okay. And like, you know, we ended up being cool, dude, because like, I could tell he felt bad, because when I said, when he I sat down in the chair and he's talking about the tattoos, and I was like, because I lifted up my shirt actually, and I was like, dude, I don't have tattoos, bro. And he's like, so where's the tattoos? You don't have them? I was like, no, dude, I've been telling you I don't have them. I could tell he kind of felt stupid. But I was like, hey, man, can I get a copy of my booking photo? Because I always get a copy of my booking photo when I leave. They always give one to you. I've never had them ever not give it to me. And he's like, yeah, I'll give it to you. And I reminded him a couple of times, like, can I get that booking photo? He's like, yeah, give me a minute. So I made it. And then I just didn't want him to forget. And we were talking, and I'd leave. When you get a chance, can I get that booking photo? He's like, yeah, give me a minute. And then he set me over there so I could sit over there in the chair, and they dressed me back in my clothes and stuff. And he came out, and he's like, here's your souvenir, Mr. Cordova. And he gave it to me, and he gave it to me in a freaking lamination, bro. Like the card, bro. Like, you know, the cards they give you. I don't know if you know, you've been to jail, but like they give you like this card. It's like your ID. He gave me that. Most of the time, they just give you like this little piece of paper, bro. They just give it to you. But he actually laminated and everything for me, bro. And I was like, dang, all right on, dude. Laminated and everything, dude. Cool. And I did appreciate that, dude. And then at the end, when I was leaving, because he was like, well, this was taking so long because we're trying to verify these tattoos, because he thinks it says on the thing you have tattoos. I was like, I was over here being facetious, you know, to you. That's why I wasn't telling you. So that's what's preventing it for so long. And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh, man, all right, dude. And Sergeant came out. I was like, dude, you could just ask me, bro. He's like, oh, no, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, dude, I had him removed, man. And as I was leaving, he was like, "All right, Mr. Cordova, if I see you come up there with your camera, just know that I got 2 more cameras." So, it was cool. And I was like, "Oh man, that's cool. I'll save that for the streets, bro. Maybe I'll see you out there someday." You know what I mean? And that was it, dude. And it was cool. And like, that's bridging the gap, dude. You know what I mean? That's bridging the gap, dude. Being on their ass just like constantly, like you're an asshole, bro. That's not bridging the gap, dude. That's just retaliation. That's the same thing that they do to us. You have to bridge the gap, guys. Everyone's a human being, dude. We all make mistakes. Like if everyone just judged me on every bad thing I ever did, dude, people would think that I'm just some animal, bro. They think I'm some just crazy piece of crap, bro. And you guys too. If everyone judged you based on just the bad things you did, they think the same thing. So if I just judge that guy because he said, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to put you in the cell. You're going to have to sit here for longer." You know what I mean? That's what I judged him on. That you lied to me, because I know he was lying. There's nothing he could do. I caved and I said, "Okay, fine. You're going to punish me." Okay. And I lifted my shirt up. I didn't have to do that. But if I just judge him solely on that, dude, I could hold a grudge, I guess, and just be a douchebag to him. You know what I mean? But it ended up being good. You know what I mean? And so now when I see that guy on the streets, and again, that's chess, not checkers, right? I see him on the streets. He's going to remember me, dude. Maybe he'll be like, "Hey man, he has the right." Cause I explained to him everything. I was like, in Colorado, you have to use physical violence, threaten to use physical violence or an obstacle. And he could tell that I knew what I was talking about. That's why he said, "Oh, you're an auditor?" And I was like, "Yeah." So maybe that'll make him do some research. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know if they teach them these laws. Clearly they don't teach them all the laws, right? So I don't know, man. That's bridging the gap, dude. So I don't hate all cops, dude. I mean, I don't really like them all. I think it's one of the most scumbag professions that you could choose, just because of the fact that all the unconstitutional laws that they have to enforce, and it makes them go against their oath. Dude, if they honored their oath, they'd lose their job, right? There's no cop in the United States, period. Even Detective Matt Thornton, bro. They could be a cop and honor their oath to the max and keep their job, bro. They'd fire you. That's how bad it is. That's how hypocritical it is. That's how contradictory it is. That if you honor your oath all the way, you would get fucking fired, bro. Like right away too. You know what I mean? So that's why I think all cops are bad, but they're not bad individuals. You know what I mean? That guy wasn't terrible, man. He's a little cocky, but he was cool. Deputy Chase. That'd be cool if I see him on the streets. It would be cool. I would like that. No, he's not in here. He doesn't know about this channel. That would be cool if he showed up in here, dude. But no, he didn't. I don't even think he knew who I was. Not everyone knows me. I do think I have like some clout here in Colorado, but I'm not that important, dude. Like most cops, they don't even know who I am. Those deputies, they don't know who the fuck I am. Yeah, they don't, especially the ones in the jail. And maybe some of the ones on the streets, they know. Actually, I know for sure the ones in the streets know who I am. A lot of Denver know. They pretend that they don't know. "Oh, so what do you do? What's your platform?" Like they pretend like they don't know me. I know all the Denver cops know me, dude. I know for a fact they know me. They're just lying. Like the deputies and shit in the jail, they don't know. He had no clue. I could tell. It was authentic. He had no clue who the fuck I was. "Oh, you're an auditor?" He would have known. So they don't know me. It's not that big of a deal, dude. Like it's not as much as like some people think this auditing thing's like this huge movement, dude. It's not, dude. Even as big as it is now, it's minuscule. 99% of people don't even know what a First Amendment audit is, I think, let alone know who's the most popular. Long Island? Go ask 100 people and write it down. 100 people, tally it. You know who Long Island audit is? No? Okay, no. Tally. No, tally, no, tally. You'll go through like 100 people before you get one person that says they know who he is. It's like 1%, dude. I'd like to do that as like a social experiment, to see who knows the most popular one. Who knows who he is? Right? It's like maybe 1%. I don't know. I'm just guessing. DMA, we're talking like, 0.1%, bro. Or like, out of every, 300 people, 400 people, maybe someone's heard of me, dude. You know what I mean? It's not, and maybe even Long Island too. Maybe Long Island's like 1 out of 300-400 people know him. Maybe DMA is like 1 out of 1,000 people know who I am. You know what I mean? It's not as big as people think it is, dude. It's really not. It's small still. It's big. It's bigger than it was. Sure. I mean, it's not like, you know, something to be scoffed at, but it's not like that big, huge deal, man. It really isn't. So no one I know has ever heard of 1A auditing. Yep. And there are some people that know it. Oh, I've seen these videos, and, you know, some people know it. This lady up here I was talking to, you know, she's heard of stuff, but she doesn't know me. If she lives here in Denver, she doesn't know who I am. There's occasional people, oh, hey, you know, what's up? I know you, I'm subscribed and stuff like that. Like Auditing Erie County did today, but it's not that big a deal. It's not, you know? So even like, you know, like Auditing Erie County, dude, like, you know, he's big time, dude. Right. But like, dude, he's not like he's famous. He's popular, you know, like in school, you know, like the popular kids, they're not famous. They're only popular amongst that school. Everyone knows them in that one school. That's it. That's how the 1A is, dude. There's a lot of people that know us from this one very specific genre, group of people. That's it. It's not like this huge big deal, man. Like if you even like 1A stuff, if you even like First Amendment audits, you're the minority. You're already in like the first percentile. You're like in the 1 percentile of people that actually think that 1A audits should even be a thing. 99% of the time, 99% of the people think that, oh, you know, I believe in 1A rights, but, you know, you guys are just creating a conflict when it's not necessary. That's what people think, dude. They truly, honestly believe that. You're just starting a conflict and you're just here for YouTube money and shit. You're just being an asshole. That's what they think, dude. For real. And like, I remember I've told this story before. Maybe you could probably, it's been a while. When I first met Sweet Tea, I told her that. I was like, dude, there's hardly anyone that's on our side. You know that, right? No, most people are on our side. They just blah, blah, blah. I don't remember what she said, but no, most people actually agree with what we do. I was like, no, that's what I thought when I first got into this. I didn't even know what a troll was. I thought we were the heroes, dude. When I first started my channel, I was like, yeah, everyone's going to love me. And I started getting all these trolls and shit. I was like, what the fuck is this? And I found out there's this whole community of people that just like hate fucking freedom, dude. It's crazy. Even my attorney said the same thing because, like, you know, he found out that me and Regan were getting like death threats from all these people, and like he found out about the troll channels and all this shit. He's like, dude, I can't believe there's this like, whole community of people that just like can't stand like First Amendment, dude. And I was like, dude, I know, I know, it's crazy, dude. So like people don't understand that. And then finally, Sweet Tea, after about, you know, a year or so, she realized, she's like, you know, you're right. Most people hate us. Like she realized it after the death threats she got and all the shit, you know, people calling her sweaty tea and all that shit. You know what I mean? She realized too, yeah, most people hate us. That's true. You know, because like YouTube is very specific. It's like target marketing, right? So like if you watch a lot of 1A videos, YouTube's going to push your video towards this specific group of people. And that's how it grows because they care about making money. They want this group of people to watch all these videos. So we'll push it to these people. They watch those. But like, you know, like TikTok and Instagram, it sends it more to like a wider audience. And so like I get the most hate on TikTok and Instagram. It's like at least more than half, like 75% of my TikTok comments are like fucking hate, bro. They hate it, dude. They hate it. But like, you know, YouTube, even on my shorts, I get a lot too. A lot of fucking hate because it's also more widely broad. But like even in YouTube shorts, it's still targeted towards a specific group. TikTok's just kind of like wide, everyone. Same with Instagram. So like, it's crazy, dude. That's the mindset of the average American. They hate it. Can't stand it. Think we should be locked in the cage. You know, we should be under the jail. Can't wait for Bubba to come meet you and, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's sad. But I mean, what are you going to do? Look at Adam, dude. He's a badass, bro. To support a government that doesn't even care about keeping you safe. That's true, man. They don't give a fuck about keeping you safe. That's why I say these sheep, dude. Thanks the military for protecting my rights. But these TSA ones, dude, are crazy, dude. Like these ones where he asked these guys if he asked the TSA how many terrorists the TSA's caught. This shit's funny.
Well, hey, Agent Martinez, you mind telling me again how many terrorists the TSA has caught? Can I ask you a question? How many terrorists has the TSA caught?
To date?
Yeah. You don't know?
No, I don't think so.
Oh. Okay, thank you. How many terrorists has the TSA caught? Can I ask you just a question real quick? Are you on duty, sir? How many?
Turn your camera off.
Well, you're a public official in a public place, sir. If you don't want to answer questions for the camera, that's fine, but you don't have a right to tell me to turn it off. You know that.
I don't want to be on your camera. So
Okay.
if you can't turn it off.
Well, I'm just trying to ask a question to you as a public servant who's paid by taxpayer money to do a job that's supposed to be accountable to the public. How many terrorists has the TSA caught?
Loser.
Many.
Many?
Yeah.
Can you name one?
I can.
No? Can you describe any incident or
No.
methods that the TSA has used to catch a terrorist?
No.
Who told you that the TSA has caught lots of terrorists? Were you involved with any of those
Intel.
incidents directly? Intel. TSA has intel?
Yes, we do.
Yeah? Well, do you know how many terrorists the TSA has actually caught?
Yes.
Lots? You can't put a number on it?
Will I tell you? No.
But if you told me, you'd have to kill me, right?
No.
Well, you know the number is 0. Excuse me, ma'am. Can I ask you a question? How many terrorists has the TSA caught?
Why are you asking people that? So you're the gentleman that I was back there with. Are you
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to know like how effective the money that's being spent on this and the hassle is. Excuse me. Do you mind if I ask you a quick question? No. Are you on duty right now? Yes, sir. Well, you're on duty. Is that why you got to stand with your hands behind your back to be official and professional?
No, sir.
How many terrorists has the TSA caught?
I'm not sure, sir.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it. You can't name a single terrorist that the TSA stopped or captured or caught or prevented from getting on an airplane?
We can.
You can.
We will not tell you.
You can, but you won't tell me. All right. Well, I hope there's a better justification for the tax dollars that are spent on the TSA for security than this. But you're not a PR guy, I understand. Just doing your job, right?
Of course.
All right, thanks. You mind if I ask you a quick question about the TSA? You're not allowed to talk to travelers as a public servant?
What kind of question you have?
Well, the first question is, can I ask you a question? I don't mean to bother you while you're getting your food.
You mean the second question. That's the first question.
Yeah. Well, obviously I can ask you a question, right? The First Amendment still applies.
You can. If you have that camera going.
How many terrorists has the TSA caught?
Oh man, come on.
Well, shouldn't you be proud of that? Isn't it a lot?
No.
You don't know. You don't know.
What we got? What is it?
Ladies, I don't mean to interrupt, but do any of you mind answering the question? Yes. Don't film? You're going to tell me as a government official that I can't film? You know that's an unconstitutional order, right? It's called the First Amendment. Yeah.
What's that? What's called First Amendment?
Well, it's the First Amendment to the Constitution, the right of the press and the right to record public officials in a public place has been well upheld all the way up to the Supreme Court. So, like I said, I don't want to interrupt you while you're eating, but none of the TSA agents that I've talked to today seem to know how many.
Hey guys, again, this is way before even audits were a thing, bro. And like he was doing this shit. I mean, that's why he's like one of the fathers of this stuff. Like a lot of the auditors, the OG auditors, like the John Felixes, the High Deserts. I don't know if High Desert was really into Adam Kokesh, but all the OG guys, like this shit is what stemmed this. It all came from like Adam Kokesh, not specifically him, but there's other guys too. But I mean, look at all the stuff that he's saying right now is stuff that we say, right? Stuff that you hear when you watch your favorite auditor, right? It all comes from like this guy is, original gangster, bro.
What's your name, man? What's your name?
My name's Adam. None of the TSA agents. Adam versus the man.
Adam versus the man?
Yeah.
None of the TSA agents I've talked to today have been able to answer the question. How many terrorists has the TSA caught? Oh, I'm not, as a taxpayer, I'm not supposed to ask questions about how effective my money's being spent?
We're not going to answer you. As a taxpayer, we're not going to answer you.
Really? You're not going to be accountable to taxpayers?
You're not going to be accountable to taxpayer? I'm a taxpayer too.
So I'm not paid by tax dollars. Ladies, any of you know how many terrorists the TSA has caught? No? Well, thanks. How you doing? What are you asking me to do? Show my boarding pass because I'm filming in public? Because I'm exercising my rights? I have a flight here, actually. Okay, you can talk to me.
Put the camera down.
No, that's okay. But thank you. What do you have to say? I'd like you're welcome to say it on the record.
I don't know what just happened, but if she's asking you to do something, I would strongly suggest you not argue with her about it.
Okay.
You know, that's not going to benefit you or anybody else.
So if someone says, you know, your constitutional rights don't apply here, you should just roll over and accept that. I appreciate that.
You're at an airport, I would not argue with the TSA.
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing, sir?
Everything good?
Everything is wonderful.
And what are you doing?
Just talking to some friendly TSA agents.
Really?
Would you mind stepping out of my personal space, sir?
You're in my personal
space. Excuse me. I apologize.
What's going on?
Well,
Why are
you
asking all these
approached me.
officers questions?
Because I'd like to ask how
Why?
effective the TSA is.
Why?
Because I pay for it as a taxpayer.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
I prefer not to answer that right now.
Why
You're
not?
making me uncomfortable because you're
I'm
standing
sorry
really
I'm
close
making
to
you
me.
uncomfortable.
I don't think you are. I think you're trying to.
No.
Yeah, I think you're trying to. Otherwise, you wouldn't be approaching me like this. You'd be leaving me alone to get on my flight because that's what I'm going to do here. So,
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
This is the response of the TSA to questions.
Not really.
If we ask questions, if citizens ask
I
questions
choose
of
not to
TSA
answer your
agents,
question.
that's fine.
You guys take off. Go on back to work.
Gotta go to work, man.
Thanks. Nice meeting you.
At least that guy was being nice and willing to engage.
So there you have it. The TSA is more concerned about not answering questions than, actually doing their job. Like stopping dangerous terrorists like myself from getting weapons on planes, like this pepper spray. But you know what, America? This is our fault. It's our fault for believing the government when it says it's here to protect us. For believing that the government is the people and that it represents our will. For being so frightened by a nearly non-existent terrorist threat that we give up our liberties and our wealth every day, not for real services, but for a false sense of security. Grow up. Take responsibility for your life. Be a libertarian. Because this government has become nothing more than an elaborate scam to steal from the poor to give to the rich. And I, for one, refuse to consent. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for new videos 7 days a week and check the links below for past adventures in TSA land.
Dude, I just
now to a News 4 exclusive.
He says the same stuff that I've said, dude. Like, and this was not correlated to like me watching him, where I'm like, dude, come on, people, like, wake the fuck up. I'll get pissed sometimes. I go on a rant. I don't know if any of you have heard me go on these rants, but I'm like, come on, wake up, people. The government's not here to protect you. And like he was saying the same thing. He's like, come on, people, grow up. He said it a little bit nicer way, but it's true, man. They're not here to protect you or to save you. Let's see. What do you
take responsibility for your life? Be a libertarian. Because this government has become nothing more than an elaborate scheme, but for a false sense of security. Grow up. That's our will. For being so frightened by a nearly non-existent terrorist threat that we give up our liberties and our wealth every day.
Yep. That's what I was going to say. So Americans give up their liberties. You know, a famous quote from Benjamin Franklin. You guys know who Benjamin Franklin is? He said, anyone who would give up a little liberty to gain security deserves neither and will lose both. That's what he said. You deserve neither and you'll lose both. But hey, if you quote the founding fathers, according to the United States government, that puts you on a list of a potential terrorist, right? It's true. If you quote the founding fathers, you could be a potential terrorist, guys. That's what the government says. So I just kind of put the thing in perspective, how out of control it is, But hey, we should just, they're here to protect you, like they're the good guys. We love the TSA. Let's see what this one is.
You need a little extra scrutiny for all that freedom that we're packing.
No comment. No comment.
So the books have to be x-rayed separately? Is that what's happening here?
So we can get this over with. I want to get out of here.
I don't know. This guy's having a lot of fun with the book.
Yeah, he's like looking through every book.
Well, I'm done now with the pat down, right?
No, we're not done yet. So put it down.
Well, I got to record the experience. That's the thing, is we got to get this. He's recording.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You can record.
Thanks, I appreciate
as long as
that.
it's not the screen.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's true.
And my screening's done. Like I already got my pat down. Got to opt out. But look at this. Where the books are going through a little.
So here's the
extra.
thing, guys. Everyone should opt out. Like when you go through that body scanner, you should opt out. If every single person opt out, they would have to just start. Actually, somebody did that. They did that once. I don't know if it was Adam Kokesh influenced, but it might have been that Luke guy. Everyone opted out. They had like a whole group of people that they got together to opt out, and like they had to just start letting people go through because they couldn't. There's no way they could opt out every single person. You know what I mean? And like, dude, this shit is just not. It's not, dude. Private security can just handle this, bro. Like this, we don't need to spend. Back then, it was like $8 billion a year. I think it's like 10 billion now that we spend on the TSA, dude. It's a complete waste of money, bro. It's like it's not necessary. They've yet to, even to this day, even to 2025, bro. They have not caught one terrorist, bro. Not one terrorist. It's just a complete waste of money. Always opt out.
The scrutiny here for the freedom. Yes, I'm Adam. Hi. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Bianca.
Bianca. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Would you like a book? Can I give you a free book?
No, sir. It's okay.
Yeah, you don't want to take one on the job? All right.
All right, so your items are going direction one more time. I'll bring it
All
right
right.
back, okay?
All right. Thank you, sir. Well, here we are at the Los Angeles International Airport, where freedom gets an extra screening every time. So, have you seen our videos of
I have
TSA
seen some of
checkpoints?
yours, yes.
Do
Yes, I
you
have.
guys use them in training here?
No, I just seen them on my off time.
All right. You share them with other TSA agents?
No, not on the job.
Not on the job. So it's sort of like a how not to do it guide. Is that how you use it? So you have an answer to the question then, don't you? How many terrorists have been caught by
No,
the
I
TSA?
don't have I can refer you to someone. But that's
No,
about it.
that's your answer then,
That's
right?
my answer.
You've thought it out in advance.
That's my answer.
All right. Well, thank you for being professional and respecting the right to film in public at a government checkpoint. How you doing, sir? Think it's hilarious that books, that literature is what is subject to extra screening here. Think that's a little funny?
I mean, we just follow procedure. Right?
Have a good day, sir.
How do you like that freedom?
I read it.
Would you like a copy?
Well, as a federal employee, can accept it.
All right. Well, you can look it up online at the you see on the back of the shirt here it says thefreedomline.com.
Okay.
You can get it for free. You can download it. You can listen to it as an audiobook. Did we pass the test, sir? freedom pass? Freedom is
Your
allowed?
bag's all clear. The freedom is good to go. Would you like it as a packet, or would you like?
No,
the
that's
packet?
fine. I appreciate. I got it. Thank you. What did you say? Your freedom is good to go. So can you say that again? I just want to hear that again. Your freedom is good to go.
Your bags are clear. Your books, your freedom books are good to go.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. You too.
Yeah.
And tonight, the TSA admits it.
Freedom is good to go, guys. Freedom is good to go. We love freedom, right? Because we're free Americans. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I love you guys. Have a great night. Peace.